Doug.
Limu and I always tell you to customize your car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. But now, we want you to feel it. Cue the emu music, Limu.
Save yourself money today. Increase your wealth. Customize and save, we say.
That may have been too much feeling.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is Roz and Mocha.
It's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Roz. Mocha. Roz. Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow!
You just won $1,000.
That is amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
All right, Andrea, welcome to Roz and Mocha's Helluva Story. When and where does your story happen? Give us all the details.
So my story happened about 16 years ago. I was living in Colorado. I had been married to my husband for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
We had 4 kids. We had been enjoying quite a great life. He was a very successful money manager and provided very well for our family. So I was a stay-at-home mom. Our kids were aged from 3 to 15 at the time. We had fun trips and a fun life. We had every day was like, what fun memory can we make next?
So when you say that you had like a great life, right? The neighborhood you were living in was like a nice neighborhood. Like did you have a big house?
It was. We had a good house, big house to some. We had a swimming pool. We had ponds with koi fish in it. My kids had a little play area, trampoline, sport court. My boys are big hockey fans.
Andrea, so far you sound like you've been living the absolute perfect life. What happened? Where's the Helluva Story?
Well, it was a perfect life. At least that's what it seemed like to me. Over time, I had watched my investments grow to $10 million. Oh, wow. So I thought I was set for life, would never have to worry about money. And then one morning, my husband came and said, hey, I need to talk to you. Can you meet me at the kitchen table? And I walk in, he's on the phone, he wraps up a phone call, he sits down and he says, there's something I need to tell you. My company, Market Street Advisors, which was his investment business, is actually a sham, and it has been from the very beginning. I've been running a Ponzi scheme.
Oh, my God!
Every day when, I thought he was going to work, apparently he was going to his office and stealing money from other people, from many innocent victims. That's how the fun life was being funded, although I had no idea.
Okay, explain to people who may not be familiar with the sort of Ponzi scam that your husband was running. Like, explain the mechanics of it for anybody who may be unfamiliar.
Okay, basically, it's where people put money into an account and think they're investing in it, but the person running the investment is taking their money and paying off earlier investors. And in my ex-husband's case, he was spending the money instead of investing it.
So how much in total did your husband milk out of unsuspecting investors?
Well, he was prosecuted for over $20 million.
What?
God.
Yes.
So the day that he told you to sit down at the kitchen table to have that conversation, he was obviously busted, or he found out that it was going to go public and he was going to be busted, right?
So, sort of. He had decided to turn himself in.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the moment that he told me that his company was a sham, he told me that he had 2 days before hired an attorney and revealed his crimes. The next day, he and his attorney had gone to the government, the U.S. government, and revealed his crimes. That evening, he had gone to our church leaders and revealed his crimes because we were a church-going family. And then they had given him all of them until that moment, that morning, to tell me. So the wife really is the last to know sometimes. I sure was.
In a situation like this, everything goes, right? Like you don't get to keep, like the cars go, the house goes, like the motorhome goes. Did you just instantaneously lose everything?
Yep, a riches to rags story that nobody wants to live. So he told me in that moment that our house was gone, our cars were gone, our savings, our investments, our retirement, anything of value. We had several fun cars. We had a nice house and fun property. We had a cabin up by Yellowstone. The best part, though, was that he told me he would be going to prison, that I was on my own to raise our 4 kids. My parents had already passed away, so I was truly on my own. And then he said, by the way, you're going to need an attorney to defend yourself. And I was like, wait, we don't have any money. How will I pay for that? And that's when he informed me that he had maxed out our credit cards paying for his.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So he was convicted, right?
Eventually he was. He told me at the time that he would get 5 to 7 years in prison, and he actually got more than 12 years.
So that happened all back then. Everything's taken away. Your husband goes to prison. It's just you and your 4 kids. How did you rebuild? Have you rebuilt? What's your life like now?
My life, thankfully, is better than it was on that day in 2009. We just had to dig in. I started looking for a job and got really lucky to find a job in a down economy after having not worked full time for a while. My 2 oldest kids, this happened like 2 weeks before my son's 16th birthday. That was a fun birthday. My 2 oldest kids went and got jobs. They were just turned 16 and just turned 14. They'd give me their paychecks. I ended up finding a job. We moved to Utah and started new lives. And it was a long, hard slog for 12 years.
It's really, congratulations on that. But before we let you go, your husband, your ex-husband, is he your ex-husband? Is he out of prison now?
He got out of prison around 2020.
And is there any contact with you and him whatsoever?
No. Our kids are now all officially adults, so there's no contact. Everybody's happy, living a good life. And if anybody wants to know more about my story, I'm sharing it on TikTok.
Yeah, please.
At Andrea.Merriman. If you want the details, and there are so many details.
Wow. Jesus. Andrea, thank you so much for sharing your story. That was one hell of a story.
Well, thank you. It's been one heck of a ride to live it.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Ashlyn, welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show.
Ashlyn,
Hello.
When and where does your Helluva Story take place?
This took place November of 2022.
Oh, wow. Okay, so what happened?
Okay. So I'm a single mom. I've got 2 boys who are just crazy. And I run in an insurance company. So the weeks I don't have my kids is really the weeks I travel for my business.
Okay.
So I was asked very last minute to go speak at this conference in Vegas.
Okay.
Ooh.
And I already had a contractor scheduled to come do some renovations in my bathroom.
Gotcha.
And I thought, well, it's somebody from church, right? It's no big deal. I'll just let them have the clicker. And when I get home, it'll be done. Like, what's the worst that could happen, right?
Yep.
It's a Friday through Sunday.
What did you need done? What did you need done in the house?
Yeah. So they were taking out the bathtub and putting in like a brand new bathtub area.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right.
And when you said clicker, you mean like clicker for the garage?
Like the garage door, yeah.
Oh, okay, so
right?
they can enter through there.
Like
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So my kids have 2 cats. They're both brother and sister. A boy is named Stripes, and the girl's name is Cookie.
Mm-hmm.
And I've left them home before, like a bad cat mom where you put out the extra food and the water and the extra kitty litter box and you leave them home for the weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people do that. I know that's
it's
a horrible
fine.
cat mom thing.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, fast forward to Sunday. I come home, and both cats are usually sitting there by the front door, and only the little girl was sitting there. So Stripes was nowhere to be found.
It was just Cookie by herself?
Cookie was by herself.
Uh-oh.
So I panic. These cats are like my kids' pride and joy.
Yeah.
And so I start going like, meow. And I couldn't hear a muffled meow come back. So I was like, where the heck is he? So here I am like running around my house going, meow, meow, and listening for him to respond back to me. And I can hear that it's coming from like up in the ceiling of my downstairs.
Oh my God.
So I panic. And so I was like, crap. So I run up the stairs and I keep doing it. This is probably going on 6-7 minutes of just meow, 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 meow. And I realize the meows are coming from underneath the new bathtub.
Oh, no.
What? Stripes was stuck under the bathtub that was just installed?
The bathtub that was just installed, I can hear him under there, like scratching and meowing. And of course, as a cat mom, I freak out. I'm like, he's on his last breath, and if I don't get him out of there, he's going to die. So I start looking around for like any holes where these contractors were, and I see like the tape marks.
Yeah.
And I go all Kung Fu Panda on this wall and just punch a hole in this wall. And here comes my 20-some pound fat cat jumping out of the wall into my arms.
So the contractor did the install of the new bathtub, had no idea that Stripes had crawled in.
Nope, none. Because I call him, and I'm so mad.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we finished the install, and we had to do some more piping, so we left this hole overnight.
Oh, no.
And then we came back and sealed it up the next day.
Cat was in there sleeping, had no idea. And then got scared because there was weird guys in the house and he wasn't going to come out of the hole.
Oh, poor Stripes.
How long do you think he was in there for?
So he said that they did that the first night and they had already sealed it up the second night. So he was in there from at least Saturday through I came home on Sunday.
Oh, no.
And then when Stripes came out of the wall, like, what was his demeanor like? Was he scared? Was he shaking? Was he okay?
Oh, my goodness, he was shaking so bad. And I was scared that he was in there the whole time. And so, like, I got him in the car and, like, rushed him to our little animal hospital because I'm just crazy like that. And they're like, he's a little dehydrated, but he's fine. But this cat did not leave my side for at least 2 weeks.
I imagine.
He was like, Mom.
I imagine. Mocha, you have the video if you want to look at the. I just sent it to you. There's a link there. This is
so the video of me like running around the house meowing is up.
Yo, I'm gonna say this real quick though. Ashlyn, the contractors did a great job with this. This tub, the tile on the wall, everything here is beautiful.
Yeah, it looks great, except that they almost killed my cat.
Oh my God, there's a hole. Oh, there's Stripes, buddy.
Hey, did the contractors finish the hole you punched in the wall for free?
They did come back and fix it, but I got a lot of hate for it.
Why?
There was a lot of people mad at me for leaving the cats alone for the weekend. So
kitties are fine. You give them 2 litter boxes. You got 2 cats, 2 litter boxes. If they're on dry food, you can leave them enough dry food and just leave water like all over the house. Your cats are fine. They're going to sleep.
I got some hate.
No. You're fine. They're going to sleep 10 hours a day anyway.
Yeah. So making a phone call to my kids, I was like, well, see, what happened was
Yeah.
They wanted their dad to drop them over, and they were loving on those cats for months.
Ashlyn, thank you so much. Ashlyn, you are the woman who had a contractor actually seal her cat into her wall during a renovation when you were out of town. And then you came back and you heard that the cat was underneath the brand new bathtub. It's an incredible story. What a hell of a story. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, really quick, Ashton, what's the name of the that tile that you use? That color is sick.
I'll look that up for you.
All right, girl. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Roz and Mocha's Helluva Story.
Catherine, when and where does your Helluva Story take place?
Technically Denver.
Denver,
Colorado.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And when did this happen?
So November of 2022, I'll give a little background. I have 3 siblings, so there's 4 of us kids. And on the 21st birthdays, we always took a trip. And it was our youngest brother's 21st birthday, so he wanted to go to Denver, Colorado. So our whole family's in Denver, Colorado. We take this trip out there, and unfortunately, one of the days that we were out there, my dad passed very unexpectedly.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It was very, very, very unexpected. Okay, so that's a Monday morning. Mind you, Tuesday is voting day for states, not for the whole country, but for states.
Okay.
So Tuesday we were supposed to fly back home, but Monday he passed.
Okay.
Monday we're in the hospital with him because obviously you have to go to the hospital. They have to pronounce you dead there and blah, blah, blah.
So where did he die?
In my arms in our Airbnb in Denver.
So it was in the house.
Yeah, so I woke up that morning. It was very random. He was complaining of he was complaining of a shoulder issue for the whole weekend that we were there. And he was saying he was short of breath, but we just all kind of chalked it up to the fact that we were in a high altitude.
Yeah.
And that morning we woke up, my mom and my dad. My mom was in the kitchen, my dad was in the living room. It's an open floor plan. And I was talking to my dad, and I'm the jokester of the family, and my dad thought I was the funniest person to ever exist. And I am. But I made a joke to him, and he was laughing. And then all of a sudden it sounded like he was choking. And so I quickly turned around and I realized that, but he was eating a granola bar. So that's a big thing. We just thought he was choking.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get into his mouth and get him to stop choking. I'm trying to dig my finger in, do the whole 9. Come to find out after everything, he actually suffered from a heart attack, but they thought it was cardiac arrest right away. But a very common sign of heart attacks is your body will go into kind of this, what looks almost like a spasm or a seizure. And it's your body clenching, trying to get all of your blood to rush back to your heart.
Your father passes away in an Airbnb during your brother's birthday weekend. And then you have to then go to the hospital where he could officially be pronounced dead, correct? Okay, so what happens?
Call the ambulance. We call the ambulance. Ambulance comes, gets him. We take him to the hospital. They take him to the hospital. They pronounce him dead. Okay, so here's the story. So in Denver, the hospital, as the nurses are telling us, he now has to go to the morgue. We'll do the autopsy and perform the autopsy here. They will call you to schedule his flight home because obviously we want to bury him back in Minnesota. We lived in Minnesota. My dad is born and raised there. His whole family's here.
Gotcha.
So we're okay, cool. So again, we were supposed to still be there for a little bit longer. So I book us flights home because I was there's no way we're staying this Airbnb. It's not fair to my siblings. We're just not doing this. So we get back home. Mind you, this is now November 8th. And again, November 8th is voting day. My dad loved to vote. He was so excited that we were coming home morning of November 8th because he got to vote. Well, the next morning comes, my mom calls the morgue, and the morgue is closed because it's voting day.
Oh no.
But we're laughing. At first it was funny, but then we were okay, well, we're also battling burying him because you can't bury a body in frozen ground, and it's Minnesota. So we're okay, well, whatever. So Wednesday comes along. I think they performed his autopsy. They sent us the autopsy report, and the morgue calls us and is hey, we'll be in contact in the next few days when we process his body and get him on a plane home. And we're okay, perfect. But we're also planning his funeral back here. So we're okay, how long is this going to take? Whatever. So we can't pick a day because we don't know exactly when his body's going to come home. So now we're on day 3 of him being gone. Day 4 comes, they don't call. Day 5 comes, and my mom's okay, what the heck is going on? So she calls the morgue and is hey, are you going to schedule his body? And they were what are you talking about? We don't have that person here.
Oh, my God.
And we're what do you mean you don't have that person here? So a little bit of a backstory. My dad loves Colorado. He actually ended up living in Boulder for a long time. Actually, I wouldn't say a long time, a couple of years in his early 20s, right before he had his kids. And he always said his one regret is that he never got to make it to Aspen to go skiing. He was an avid skier, loved to ski. And when we went to Denver, when my youngest brother chose Denver, and obviously it was November, there was snow on the ground, he was like, "Do you guys think we can make it out to Aspen so we can ski?" And we're like, "No, we're not going to Aspen." Anyways, days goes past, days. We're like, "Where's our dead dad? Like, this isn't funny anymore. Where's his body?" We call the morgue again. They're like, "Okay, so unfortunately, he's in Aspen at the Aspen morgue." So at first we were really annoyed because obviously how does somebody lose? This is in the time you're processing in your morning. Like, it's funny now, but we were like, "Are you kidding me? Where's his body?" But now we're like, this is so Bill coded. It's not even funny. So we ended up making it to Aspen for a couple of days, was chilling in the Aspen morgue. And then finally they flew him home to Minnesota and we buried him 2.5 weeks later.
2.5 weeks?
Yeah.
But did you ever get an explanation as to why he ended up in Aspen?
They just put him on a wrong or I don't know how he got transported from Denver to Aspen. And at the time when you're grieving, you don't want to some people want to cuss people out, and I get it. But then there's also when we heard where he went, our family, if you knew my dad, you just had to giggle because stuff like that just happened. The fact that they couldn't process his body the very next day because it was voting day and he wanted to vote.
Right.
And then of all places in Colorado for him to get sent, we're like, okay, whatever. This is just, and again, he loved to laugh.
Yeah.
So our family kind of just chalked it up to, this is just Bill being Bill and giving us one last little giggle.
Classic Bill.
Classic Bill. How long was your dad's body missing for?
2 weeks. Well, probably about nine or 10 days, I assume.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and no one could tell us anything. They didn't know if he got on a bus, a plane, a train. It was like this whole thing.
Literally went missing.
Okay, that is. Catherine was out in Colorado with the family. Her dad passed away in an Airbnb, brought him to the hospital. Then they asked if they could fly him back to Minnesota so they could give him a funeral. And the morgue lost him. And he was gone for 2 weeks.
Ended up in
Aspen.
Aspen.
Went on a mini vacation.
Classic Bill.
One last run.
Catherine, thank you so much. Much love to your family.
Thank you. You guys have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Cole, are you there?
Hi, I'm here.
Cole, welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show.
Thanks.
Cole, welcome to Roz and Mocha's Helluva Story. Cole, when and where does your Helluva Story take place?
My Helluva Story takes place in 2019 in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's when I started collecting my fingernails.
Sorry, what?
Well, yeah. So I started collecting my fingernails back in 2019.
How old are you, dude?
31.
Okay, so you started back in 2019 collecting your fingernails.
All your nails?
So how would you collect your fingernails?
Well, so I decided to start biting my fingernails, and then...
Why did you decide to start biting your fingernails?
Well, I bit them and then started keeping them in a Ziploc baggie.
Right.
That I'd keep inside my desk drawer just in case.
Just in case for what?
Well, so when I moved in 2020, then I started keeping them, I got this little jar for them, and I started keeping them in there.
So you don't clip, you bite?
I bite. And there's actually a lot of misinformation about fingernails. It's actually better to keep them in a jar instead of a bag.
Okay, or throw them out.
Or just get rid of them, bro.
Or throw them
Hold
out.
on, are we talking fingernails or toenails, too, that you're keeping?
No. Just fingernails.
He's not weird, Mocha.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. That's taking it too far.
Okay. You started off keeping your fingernails in a Ziploc bag, and then you moved over to keeping your fingernails in a jar. What is the purpose to keeping your fingernails?
Well, I appreciate you asking that.
That's really the only question.
Yeah, and that's a great question. So every couple of weeks, I would let my nails grow out, and then I'd bite them off with my teeth.
Yes.
And then I'd put them in the jar.
Right.
And so since I started doing this, I've never had a single nail biting session where they didn't go into the jar.
Okay, Cole, why do you keep your fingernails?
Well, so even when I travel, I would pack a small size pill bottle where I could keep them on my trip. And then once I returned home, I would add them to the jar.
No, Cole, why, sir? Why do you do this? Why?
You know, I mean, everyone in my life asks why I do this, and there's the answer is simple.
Yeah.
What's the answer, Cole? WTF, bro?
Okay.
Well, I know it's hard to see because this is the radio, but every single nail is like super white. It's
Okay.
very white and very clean.
Okay.
like
What
bone.
does your
It's like bones.
what does
like
your
there's no
what does
there's
your
no
what does your wife think about all this?
Bro, you're married?
Not yet.
No, I figured. we already knew that, Cole. Mocha, just do me a favor right now, Mocha. Cole was kind enough to send a picture of his nail jar.
No!
So if you could go, just go to your email right now and open up the file that we have going for Cole. Cole, if you could just bear with us for 1 second.
For 6 years. That is disgusting. Oh my God, dude. Oh my goodness. Oh.
So as you can see, like every nail is like really white and clean. There's never any dirt under there.
Yeah.
I'm not like a garbage tickler or anything like that. I'm pretty hygienic.
Where do you keep that jar? Is it like displayed in your home or is it somewhere like hidden?
Yeah, it's on my entertainment center in front of my TV.
Nice. Okay, so Cole, what now is you have a big jar full of your fingernails that you started biting in 2019, and it's a very full jar. What is your future plan for your fingernails?
Well, as you can see, the jar is like getting pretty full, so I think I need to upgrade sizes.
Okay, but what do you plan? What's your plan for the nails?
Right, and I appreciate the question.
And we'd appreciate an answer.
Sure.
Okay. Do you ever get sore teeth or anything like that?
No.
No? You ever bite down a little too hard and you take a little too much off?
Sometimes I go a little short, but I've been doing it pretty consistently, so I kind of know what I'm doing.
Right.
Pro tip.
Okay.
All right,
Is there one finger that you enjoy biting more than one of the others?
I enjoy biting each finger equally, and just like a little fun fact is that fingernails are actually composed of like a protein called keratin.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Fun fact. Cole, thank you so much for joining us on Roz Mocha's Helluva Story.
That was Cole, who in 2019 decided to start biting his fingernails. And
real quick, so I know this is the radio. Do you guys take song requests?
Sure. Yeah. What do you want to hear?
Can you play the Samsung washer dryer song?
Bro, honestly. You got it, Cole.
Do you know how that goes?
Yeah. You want
to sing it?
Yeah.
Sure. It goes like do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Cole, thank you. Thank you very much, Cole.
Okay. Thanks, Cole.
Good luck with your fingernails and good luck with everything else in life, my man.
Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Right on. Really appreciate it.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
And Doug.
Limu and I always tell you to customize your car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. But now, we want you to feel it. Cue the emu music, Limu.
Save yourself money today. Increase your wealth. Customize and save, we say.
That may have been too much feeling.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Danielle, hello. Welcome to the Roz Mocha Show.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. Danielle, when and where does your Helluva Story take place?
My Helluva Story takes place in Punta Cana from April 9th to April 20th of this year.
Oh, wow. Recent.
Very recent.
Okay, so what the hell happened in Punta Cana?
So we stay in Punta Cana. We go down every 6 months, and we have never had an experience like the one we just got back from.
When you say who's we?
My husband and I.
And you guys just like, you love Punta Cana so much, you go down twice a year. What do you do? Just like sit on the beach and drink beer out of like Stanley mugs?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We like to go to the club. We rent Airbnbs every 6 months, and we've had a great time up until this trip.
So no, you guys don't do the all-inclusive. You rent Airbnbs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so you're at an Airbnb in Punta Cana.
Correct.
Okay, go for it. What happened?
So the pictures that we were provided were through a local friend of ours who we've known for a couple of years now, and it was nothing like what we walked into. So the nightmare started the first day when we got there. I was sitting on the toilet, and out of nowhere, this giant cockroach comes running at me. I literally lost my mind. My husband tried to kill it, and I was stuck on the toilet screaming, and then all of a sudden we couldn't find it.
Mm-hmm.
Then later on the day, we're getting ready to go out for dinner or whatever, and I open up the closet, and I go to take out my shoes, and another one comes running at me, which I run into the living room, and another one comes flying off the wall. Later on the next day, I go to do some laundry, and I find 3 more in the laundry room, and this was an occurring thing that went on for the whole time we were down there, and there's about 6 to 10 on the daily.
Okay, Can you describe size-wise what these cockroaches look like?
About the size of a small mouse.
They're huge.
Oh my gosh.
They're huge.
They're
and my husband's legally blind, so for him to see them, and he was the one that had to kill them for me because I couldn't do it.
Wait a second.
Not do it.
You sent your blind husband into the room to kill cockroaches?
Yeah.
Okay. Mocha, if you want to, I sent you a picture. If you want to scroll down to the bottom of Danielle's story there, you'll see a picture. Some of these cockroaches are the size of cigarette lighters. Like they're huge, right? Yeah. They're massive. And when
Oh my God! Ew!
And when you hit one of these, what was your husband hitting it with? What was he trying to kill these things with?
His running shoe.
Okay. And when you hit one of these, describe the mess for people.
You have to hit it with quite force because they are large, and it's pretty gross. My husband cleaned them up because in Hamilton, if there's a spider at home, I have to kill it. He won't, but he was my old-time hero in Punta Cana because I couldn't have survived that trip without him. Roz, it was so bad that the one night we went and booked a hotel just to get out of the Airbnb because it was horrendous.
And cockroaches explode when you hit them right.
Yeah, pretty much.
They do. They very much do. And I know that if we live, here, when we got to deal with cockroaches, okay, they're not the cockroaches you get down south.
No.
Right?
No.
They are very, very different cockroaches. Our cockroaches are very different than their cockroaches. Like their cockroaches are the cockroaches you see in movies where they are so big they almost don't look real.
So
like Men in Black style.
Yes.
So what happened? You guys left that Airbnb and went somewhere else?
We went to a hotel for the night because my anxiety was through the roof and I wasn't coping well. We ended up contacting somebody through a lot of places in Punta Cana. I guess other Airbnbs as well have like a Facebook group. So I reached out and talked to one of the girls and got in contact with the manager of the building who sprayed our unit.
Sprayed?
Yeah, they had to spray our unit. So we had to go away for the day. We came back and everything was fine until the day that we were leaving. And unwelcome guest returned again. So I was happy to be going home.
Jesus. And did you give them a bad review?
I did.
Yeah. 1 star for you, huh?
0 stars.
0 stars.
Well, yeah.
My brother did his honeymoon in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Out in the jungle, and it was beautiful. And everywhere they went, there was just like a cute little thing that everybody used to say, right? Which is, make sure you shake your shoes off. Make sure you shake your shoes out in the morning. You don't want to step on a scorpion, right? And it's just something everybody said. Make sure you shake your shoes out in the morning. You don't want to step on a scorpion. And so it was just a thing, right? Before they left the house, my brother was like, I'm going to shake the shoes. And he would shake the shoes. Ha, ha, ha. Nothing happened, right?
Right.
And then one day they were going out. They had rented a car and they were about to leave. And he walks over to his shoes and he's like, oh, time to shake the shoes. And a scorpion fell out.
Ew, gross.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. So that is a terrible experience for you, Danielle. I'm so sorry to hear about that.
Have you already booked your next trip back then?
We're actually going back in October, but not to the same unit.
Oh,
No.
Okay. Yeah, hotel. You got to stay in a hotel, right?
Yeah.
No, we're doing another Airbnb.
Oh, my God, Danielle.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
no, it's good, honestly.
Is it?
Sure.
Don't let one bad experience ruin you.
Okay.
All right. I guess we'll talk to you back at the end of October then.
100%.
Danielle, that was one hell of a story. Thanks for sharing today.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Dean, welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show, and welcome to Roz and Mocha's Hell of a Story. When and where does your Hell of a Story take place?
It takes place in a small town in New York when I was about 11 years old, and it's a little bit of a ride.
Okay, so what happened?
Okay, so when I was 11 years old, I catfished a man on Clash of Clans. And let's just start this off by saying that I have a twin brother, and we played like Clash of Clans like it was like professional.
Clash of Clans.
That's the game that you can play like on your phone and your iPad and stuff, right? Actually, no, you can play on the computer too, right?
Yeah.
Anything.
Okay,
It's like
so-
cross-platform insanity.
You and your 11-year-old twin brother were like obsessed with Clash of Clans. And what did you do? What happened?
So it starts off, we would steal our mom's credit card, and when she would ask us if it was us, we would say no. And then she was literally under investigation for fraud. So I had to like move on to a new victim.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
Oh my God.
What?
Okay, so what happened? What happened? What'd you do?
So then in my clan, and essentially you can talk to, let's say, 30 people. But I start talking to this man named John, and I guess my 11-year-old voice sounded enough of like a female for me to gaslight him into believing I was a 30-year-old Australian woman who needed like financial support.
Oh my God.
And
what?
So I'm telling him things like my mom has a blood clot in her leg and I don't have any money for gems, so I'm going to like fall off the leaderboard if he doesn't help me. And all I have to do is like talk to him. But like my 11-year-old mind isn't realizing like when he tells me, oh, like my house is at risk of being foreclosed. I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be having him send me like $400 in gems every 2 days.
Okay.
Now, when you say $400 in gems, these are like pretty much like gems in the video game, like points for the video game, right? Okay.
Yes. So essentially, $1 could go, let's say, 50 gems. But how the game works is if you're not spending gems, then you're just not going to essentially be anything in this game.
Okay.
And in retrospect, I realized how crazy this sounds.
So you were hustling this guy to spend his money while his house is being foreclosed on to send you gems through the video game.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so
You were 11. How old are you now, Dean?
I'm 24 today.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
So you're getting all these gems. This guy's spending tons of money. He thinks he thinks that you're an Australian woman. So what happened?
Speaking on the phone.
Oh, you're talking on the phone.
Oh my God, Dean.
Okay.
Do you have to do the accent too?
No, that's where this is. We'll discuss.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, let's just say a few months pass. This goes on, and I'm sitting in school, and I get a message from him being like, "Send me all of your information. I'm going to get you a flight out to Texas to help me move out of my foreclosed house."
Oh my God.
I have never sprinted faster to the nurse's office to call my mom. I get into the car with my mom. I confess everything. I'm like, you need to call him and break up with him. She's like, me?
What?
She's like, literally, like, I will never forget. I have chills. She's like, me? So I have her call him. And one of the first things he says is, oh, you sound different. She's like, yeah, I found out I have like 2 months to live and I can't be talking to you anymore. Hangs up the phone on him, blocks him, removes the app from my phone, and immediately puts me into months of therapy. And so After these months of therapy pass, I get my phone back. I go on and I immediately add him back. And I'm like, guess who survived?
No! Dean!
And I start the cycle again.
No.
And you had him send you more money, or I guess pay for jewels in the game?
Of course, at this point I am under a little bit more observation from my mom, and she does discover it again. And then I unfortunately lost access to my phone for a few years. But, would I do it again? I'm not sure. Do I have any regrets? I don't know.
Whatever happened to that guy?
I have to say, I haven't checked in a few years, but there was a time when I would go and look at his Facebook, and he was living in a boat, guys. And I think it's because of me. It's because of me.
Dean!
Oh, my God.
How much do you think you got from this guy over that time period when you were 11?
I genuinely would say upwards of $5,000 to $10,000.
Oh,
just
my
because
God.
It really was and being 11, I'm like $99.99. What does that even mean? That's like $1, right? And so every time I'm asking him to send me those, I'm now realizing in my head, I'm like, wait, he did that 50 times.
Oh my God.
So Dean, were you pretending then to be his girl? Did he actually think that you were into him as this Australian woman?
See, I really do have a sense of confusion in this whole thing, because I was just messaging him hey, how's your day going? But again, in retrospect, as 24, I'm like, yes, this man 100% thought we were in some online relationship.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Damn, bro.
Dean, that was a crazy story. And obviously, is your brother the good twin and you're the evil twin?
Yes, yeah. I would say so, since he's never scammed any 40-year-old men.
Right. Well, that was a hell of a story.
Yo, you
Dean.
still play Clash of Clans?
No, I'm traumatized. I can never go back on that app.
Damn, bro. All right, Dean, thanks for joining us on Roz and Mocha's Helluva Story.
Guys, thank you. Take care.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Nate, welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show. How's it going?
I'm okay. How are you all?
Good. Nate, when and where does your Helluva Story take place?
So my Helluva Story took place just over a week ago. My Delta Flight 4819 crashed in Toronto upon landing.
Oh,
hold on a second. Nate, you were one of the people on the plane that flipped upside down?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Oh, my God.
First of all, how are you? How are you feeling?
I'm pretty banged up physically and really struggling mentally. Thankful to be here.
So, Nate, you guys were flying into Toronto, right?
Correct.
When did you guys on the plane realize that there was something wrong? Was there a long period of time or was it all of a sudden?
Yeah, it was all of a sudden. We were coming in for landing. I was having conversations with the gentleman sitting next to me. And when the wheels hit the runway, they hit kind of hard. And that we've probably all been on planes that, have hit hard at some point. And you're like, wow, that, kind of hard. But immediately after that, you could feel the plane wobbling and pulling to the right.
Okay.
And at that moment, we knew that we were in trouble.
And when you say you knew you were in trouble, there's a moment where you think you're in trouble to where you realize you're in trouble. When did you realize that you were in trouble?
That's a great point. When I thought we're in trouble, with the way the plane felt like it was doing, I thought we were just going to slide off the runway into the field. But almost immediately after that thought, we started the barrel roll. And that's when I knew for a fact.
After that initial hit and the entire plane jolted, was there an announcement? What was the reaction like inside of the plane? Did anyone say anything? Were people screaming? Were people yelling? What happened?
A lot of screaming and yelling, a lot of confusion, disoriented. I was on the left side of the plane, so the A seats next to the window was slammed against the bulkhead of the plane there. And then as we rolled, I was slammed against the passenger sitting next to me. I just remember the loud bang of the explosion. I remember just utter chaos, just screaming. I can't even begin to describe.
When you guys were stopped and the plane was upside down, Was everybody sort of still seated with their seatbelts on, hanging upside down, or had some people fallen out?
Everybody in my row, there was 4 of us. We were still strapped to our seats, obviously inverted at that time.
Do you immediately undo your seatbelt, or like, because it's hard to imagine being upside down in a plane because all you want to do is just get right side up again. So you're hanging there, and how long? When you're hanging there, do they start telling people to either stay put or to undo their seatbelts? And are like people just dropping from the ceiling at that point?
When we stopped, I looked at the gentleman next to me and I said, "Are you okay?" And he said, "Yes." "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yes." And at that point, I just wanted out of my seat. And I said, I'm getting out. And he said, "Okay." I remember reaching for my seatbelt, but I don't remember much after that. Until I was in between the rows, and I looked at the gentleman across the aisle from me and asked they were both okay, and they said yes, and they were struggling to get their seatbelts undone. So after I helped the 3 gentlemen get down, I looked out our window, and you could smell the jet fuel, and you could see the jet fuel running down the windows like rain, and you could see it puddling up outside the window. It really looked like we were in water at that point. There was so much of it. And that's when, I thought, we're going to die here. We're not getting off this plane. I finally found my phone and was going to text my wife to tell her that I love her.
Yeah.
And by the time I was able to get my phone and get off airplane mode, they were starting to exit the plane.
Was it a mad, like, because you always hear people, if in case of an emergency, just be sort of like, just be normal and sort of, orderly. Was it that, or was it a mad dash of people? Like, were people, sort of toppling over each other at the beginning there?
No, I think everyone was doing their best to help each other. At that point I could hear the stewardess yelling at everyone, "Leave everything. Get off as fast as possible. Leave everything."
Hey, did you ever get your stuff back?
I just got it back Sunday.
Yeah.
Wow.
We know that the big story was that they offered you guys $30,000 each with a no strings attached. Obviously that seems like an insanely low amount of money, and I've never known anything to be no strings attached. Are you taking the money? Who are you talking to? Do you have a lawyer?
Yes, I have my attorney, and so he is reviewing that offer.
Yeah.
He is communicating with Delta to say this is in no way, a settlement. This in no way negates our rights to seek damages and indemnify Delta and Endeavor Airlines or any other entity that's involved with this.
And has anybody in this whole ordeal, from either the airline or an insurance company or anything like that, has anybody told you guys to not talk?
When they sent me to the hospital, they had 2 police officers there. And, I asked them, I said, "Is this normal?" I mean, they stayed with me the whole time at the hospital. And they said, "Well, we've never had a plane crash, so we don't know. But active investigation, we're to stay with you." The Delta rep did show up. It's not very helpful. After he showed up, the hospital released me almost right away. And they were trying to get me to go back to the airport to pick up a voucher to stay at a hotel they had lined up. But I refused. I went to my own hotel and began my journey home the next day.
Okay.
Oh, damn, Nate. I can't even imagine. We can't imagine what it was that you went through. And we can't thank you enough for taking the time to join us today on the Roz Mocha Show and for recounting everything that you could remember. We appreciate your time so much.
All right. Yeah, thank you for letting me share the story.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello.
Hello.
Is this Frank?
Yes.
Wait, hold on.
Hey.
Is this Frank J. Sherman?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Wait a second.
This is Damn It Maury's dad?
You missed me, didn't you?
Okay.
What the hell?
So this is Roz Mocha's Helluva Story. On with us right now is Damn It Maury's father, Frank J. Sherman. Frank, when and where does your Helluva Story take place?
Well, in my own home, of course. And when was the beginning of February there.
Okay, so talk us through it. What happened?
Well, we just sold our house at that moment, and we bought a different house. So we're getting ready for moving, but before that, of course, is getting ready for setting it all up and everything else like that. There.
Yeah.
So obviously extremely busy, blah, blah, blah.
Stressed.
And working and stressed. And a day after work, and I thought, oh, my God, okay, really got to take a break here. So finally got a moment that I said, all right, I'm ready. I'm going into the hot tub.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Okay, and you love the hot tub, right, Frank?
What better way to ease the bones?
Okay, so you had a hell of a day. You're getting ready to have a soak, and what happens?
Well, I got Donna to there first, and then I stepped in and just got myself relaxed, take a little sip of a little beverage. And all of a sudden I see some flashing lights going on in the kitchen that's just kind of up and above us there, and they're flashing around. I thought, wow, that's ever quick. I mean, Kyle must be home and just flashing his camera flashlight there, and then all of a sudden I see that it's moving around. What is going on here? And all of a sudden, the door beside us on the lower level opens up, and there's a whole stream of these uniformed men. Oh, my God, it's the police. What is going on here? And I see them coming from the other end, and I'm surrounded by these cops.
Okay, hold on here. So after a long day, you go into the hot tub with your wife to just relax, and you're in there for like no time, and then all of a sudden, your house fills up with police, and then they start coming out all the doors into the backyard where you are?
Yeah.
So then what happened?
What happened?
Well, I said, what is going on here? What's happening? And so they're now surrounding some of them are peeking through the door, and some are standing right in front of me and beside me. And I said, what's going on? And he says, is everything okay? And I said, well, it was. I said, everything's fine here. What's going on? They said, we just had an emergency phone call, a 911, and we're responding to it. Is everyone all right? I said, yeah. And the first thing that's coming to my mind is someone else, either they're at the wrong house or they're alerting me that some other trouble, but why would they be here? I'm really confused.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm really confused. Like, what's going on? So they said, all right, you have a Apple Watch? And I said, what? Do I have an Apple Watch? I said, I don't have a Apple Watch. I mean, mine's an Android, a Samsung. And why are you asking this? Oh, wait a minute. My son Carl has one, but he's not here. It was, well, we followed GPS. And I said, well, Elizabeth's upstairs and there's some default or something. So I said, all right, well, show us where it is. So I climbed out and followed on and into the office room. On the floor is where I placed my cell phone, and I said, they're right here. They said, we've been calling, and I said, well, I don't have my phone in the hot tub, so let me. Oh my God, yeah, you have been calling me. Oh my God, and I see it on my watch. I said, what number did you have? And so they ran out my phone number, and I said, it's my phone. I said, what's going on there? So they said, well, I guess when you placed it on the lower floor level, that it looks like you fell down and you were unconscious, and it has that feature in the stupid phone. Oh my God. So just because I placed it down, that it thought that I passed out and I was unconscious on the ground, and they're trying to contact me. And I looked out the front window. Actually, before I even looked out the window, I saw there was people coming from the basement level, people coming from the bedroom level, and like these cops. I saw in front of the house, I thought, oh my God, these neighbors we're getting rid of these bad people here that are moving out. Because I had a whole stream of about 6 cop cars out in the front of the house.
How many police officers do you estimate were in the house or that showed up to your property?
But I figured that there was probably about 8 of them or so. Anyway.
Oh my God!
You know, it's not a good look that you're moving now, right? Cops show up, and then all of a sudden, you guys vanish.
Yeah.
Okay, so Frank J. Sherman, this is Dan Warry's dad, by the way. So your hell of a story is after a long day, you needed a soak, and so you went out back to the hot tub with your lovely wife. and you guys were in there for no time, and then cops just started busting through your back door. The house was filled with police officers, and the reason that happened was because before you went for a soak, you put your phone and smartwatch on the floor, and your phone and smartwatch thought you were dead and called 911.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's about accurate, yeah.
Yo, Frank, real quick. Did you and Donna get back in the hot tub after the cops left?
Well, yeah, by the advice of the one of the officers, he says, okay, so go in there and relax and have fun.
You need a soak. Oh, my God. Frank, that was one hell of a story. Dude, it is so great to hear your voice again. We miss you, man.
We love having fun with you guys.
Have a great day, Frank. Love you, man.
Take care.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
And Doug.
Limu and I always tell you to customize your car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. But now we want you to feel it. Cue the emu music, Limu.
Save yourself money today. Increase your wealth. Customize and save, we say.
That may have been too much feeling.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Jeff, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Jeff McKinnon, welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show.
I feel very welcomed.
So, Jeff, here's what I know about you, that you are a third-generation shipwreck hunter from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. You're in a new docuseries called The Death Coast, and your Helluva Story has nothing to do with that, which to me is quite shocking.
Treasure hunting to me is work. It's always been work.
Okay.
It's always been Dad telling me, get in that damn lab, get them coins done.
Okay.
Bro, that sounds like a Helluva Story that we'd be interested in.
Just wait. So Jeff, talk us through here. When and where does your Helluva Story start and take place?
Starts at my birth.
Okay.
I was born with an interesting birth defect. I was born with what was called cystic hygroma, which is a very uncommon thing on the side of your neck where your lymphatic system suppresses something anyway, and you end up growing another twin from the side of your head.
What?
which is not a twin. It was just a kind of a big glandular thing.
Okay, so
wait, on the left or right side?
The left side.
And how big?
Big enough that if you want to live a normal life, we're going to have to do some cosmetic surgery on this.
Wow. And you were a baby.
I was a baby.
Okay, so
hold on, real quick, not to be insensitive, but Jeff McKinnon, are you saying that when you were a baby, you were born with two heads?
Pretty well.
Okay.
So you're a baby with two heads, and they have to remove the growth. So what happened here? Talk us through this.
Okay, so I ended up becoming one of those IWK miracle babies at the Isaac Walton Killam Hospital in Halifax. They rushed me up to the hospital in Halifax, roughly around 5 hours away. We flew up. I had the surgery, which was a complete success. After a couple of days of recovery, I was 18 days old, and they opted to send me home.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother took me on the plane. It was a rather uneventful plane ride until we got to Cape Breton, and it was a blizzard, and the plane circled and eventually ran out of enough fuel to get back to Halifax and land safely there. So the pilot had to make a decision to land at the Sydney airport.
Mm-hmm.
And when the plane landed, hit the runway, and then proceeded to skid off the runway into the woods, and broke all the landing gear and everything off of it. And mind you, this is in a storm. And in the process, my mother dropped me and I rolled under the seat where the carry-on luggage goes.
No!
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you're like wrapped up in like a baby blanket. You guys
snuggled up in a blanket.
You crash land the plane. Your mom drops you at 18 days old, having just gone through surgery.
Correct.
And the plane winds up in the forest.
And in the forest.
Okay,
and
so
not just the forest, in a swamp in the forest.
Okay, and it's winter, right?
And it's winter.
Okay.
It's a blizzard. I think it's April 5th.
So what happens? You guys crash. What happens?
Well, then everybody's panicking and I guess losing their minds. And the emergency door opens on the left side of the plane, and the emergency chute, the slide goes out. Everybody goes out of it, and the last passenger to go down before my mother and the captain and me punctured the slide.
Right.
So as they're going into the blizzard, into the great white unknown.
Yeah.
Anyway, the captain pulls the other emergency exit and then releases the other slide, and he comes back to do a check in the cabin to make sure there's nobody left. He finds my mother frantically without her glasses in the dark looking for me. So anyway, he finds me and he ushers her down to the front of the plane and gets her down the slide, and she lands in the swamp, which on that side of the plane, I guess it was very swampy.
Mm-hmm.
But what had happened was the fuselage or whatever had ruptured, and all of the jet fuel was in the swamp.
So your mom is out of the plane in the swamp, and you are still on the plane, 18 days
with
old.
the captain. The captain is holding me.
Okay, so what does the captain do?
He jumps down the slide right after my mother and hands me to my mother. And mind you, it's a blinding snowstorm.
Yeah.
I'm getting drenched in jet fuel because I guess the swamp is waist high. And my mother goes with no shoes on in the opposite direction of the terminal.
Okay.
So there's this one emergency vehicle looking for my mother and me. By the time they got to my mother, she was well on to being frostbitten and hypothermia and whatnot. Anyway, when all this was said and done and everybody got back, I ended up with severe breathing problems as a result of it. I ended up with asthma that I carry to this day. Thank you, plane crash.
Yeah. Did you guys sue?
No. What? And then this is where it gets interesting. So a couple of days later, this is where it gets. Yeah, this is where it gets more interesting. So a couple of days later, this lawyer shows up at the hospital because Mom was still in the hospital and solicits my mother to talk about the crash and says, "Look, there's people, and there's going to be some sort of award given. You should have an attorney." And she was 23 years old. She didn't freaking know any better.
No.
And she was like, "Oh my God, yes." A couple of weeks later, the thing came down the pipe. The airline is offering a settlement. They're offering you $10,000. And my mother said, "Oh my God, 23, $10,000 in 1977. That's a lot of money."
Yeah.
She agreed to it with this guy. That's all said and done. So that's a chapter in the life that was closed until I turned 26 years old. And I got hooked up with another fella here in Sydney who's a lawyer. And he said, "Jeffrey, were you ever in a plane crash?" I said, "Yeah." Anyway, he had asked me, "How much money did she get?" Anyway, I told him, and he said, "Jeffrey, the lowest payout on that flight was $250,000.
Whoa!
So here's me now, and I said, "Well, can I do anything?" And he said, "Jeff, you're 1 year past the statute of limitations."
Oh no!
Talk about poor luck, huh?
That is one hell of a story. I know you got way more to your story, but thank you so much for sharing that. And I don't know why you do such dangerous work now as an adult. I guess it's just the way you were born, huh?
It was just how I was raised.
So that's Jeff McKinnon. Thank you so much, Jeff. You are a third generation shipwreck hunter from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, and the star of the new docuseries The Death Coast. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you so very much.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
All right, Jess, when and where does your Helluva story take place?
I was just outside of my home on a regular routine morning walk with my dog.
And where's this?
Kitchener, Ontario.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, my old stomping grounds. I used to live out there.
I used to live in Kitchener.
6 years.
Yeah.
I love KW.
Okay, so you're in Kitchener. You're going out for a walk with your dog. Tell us about your dog.
Yeah, so my Corgi Waldo is the coolest dog in the world. He's always been super smart, adorable, and very charismatic. He's a big ham. He's got almost 14,000 followers on TikTok.
Oh my God.
What?
Okay. So Waldo's famous.
He's a little social celebrity.
Okay.
And he's a hero.
Okay. So you what? What happened? You're out for a walk? What's going on?
So I'm out for a walk with my dog, and when the snow melts, classic Canadian winter, the snow melts and comes back and melts, and you get covered in mud every once in a while. So super slippery out, and we're going over a hill near my house, and I slip, and my body goes, and my right foot doesn't.
Ooh!
I hear this massive crack, and the way it feels, I know something happened.
Yeah.
So I look at my foot. And it's like that scene out of Misery where Kathy Bates takes a sledgehammer to the guy's ankle. Like literally my leg is facing north and my foot is facing completely east and like hanging slightly below it.
Okay. And are you wearing boots or like can you see the ankle? Like what are you wearing?
I was just wearing like sandals, man.
Okay. So you can fully see what's going on with that foot.
Oh yeah, it was very apparently broken.
Okay, so you're lying there on a walking your dog Waldo, and you fall. You severely break your ankle. What happens?
I don't have a phone on me, which I don't know why I didn't bring it. I think you're like, oh, just taking the dog out to pee. It's fine. Yeah. So I don't have my phone on me. I'm laying on my back and I'm screaming for help because I'm a little bit out of the view of the main road. And Waldo immediately jumps to action. He kisses me on the cheek and then he runs away.
No. What?
Yeah, and he never runs away. Like he's always by my side. So I'm laying there on my back, in a clear emergency, looking for him, screaming for help.
Where's Waldo?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, where's Waldo?
Wait, Jess, before you continue with your story, I need to know when you fell, right, after taking Waldo out and you broke up your foot and nobody around, are you in a residential neighborhood? Like where are you and how could people not know that you've fallen down?
Well, we were in a residential neighborhood. Thankfully, we go on quite a lot of forest walks. Thankfully, this wasn't one of them.
Oh.
So we were very lucky because it allowed people to act so quickly. But, it was an odd time in the day. I mean, 11 o'clock, I guess people were out doing their thing. And
okay, so Waldo kisses you on the cheek and then he takes off. What happens?
I'm on my back screaming for help. In the back of my head thinking, where's Waldo? I hope he's okay. He just left me here.
Yeah.
And then I see him in the distance and he's tugging on a stranger's pant leg.
Oh my God.
And the stranger's just getting into their car. So he had found them on the street. He tugged them on their pant leg. And then he started barking and leading them toward me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was classic Lassie moment. So I'm like, sir, please help me. And I start talking to him.
The guy followed the dog?
Yeah, he followed him.
He had no choice.
I wouldn't.
Oh no! You leave Jess for dead?
I'm not your guy in that situation.
Oh no!
Okay, so wait a second. So Waldo gives you a kiss on the cheek, takes off, finds a stranger, starts like out of a movie, pulling on his pant leg and guiding the guy towards you?
Yeah. He was like, sir, please help, I guess. And he brought the guy to me and then he took off in a different direction. And so again, I'm trying to talk to this guy, like, please help me find my husband. I can tell you how to get to him. And also thinking, where's Waldo again? Like he's left. He came around the corner moments later with our landlord.
Oh my God.
Are you serious? And then he kissed me on the cheek again.
Yo, Waldo went and found two people to help? That's incredible.
Yeah. And he brought, the landlord was a great choice because he knows her and she was able to, go to my place and get my husband and bring Waldo back home. And so, if it wasn't for Waldo's quick thinking, I don't know how longer I would have been laying there. But it was fantastic.
Oh my God. So what did you give Waldo as payment?
A big, juicy steak dinner.
Yes.
There we go.
Waldo.
And that's on social media, too, if people want to see him eat it. It doesn't last long.
What is, what's Waldo's TikTok again?
He's Waldo the Corgi on TikTok.
All right, Jess. Thank you so much for joining us on Roz Mocha's Helluva Story. How's your foot? Your foot's all right, obviously?
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty gruesome. I mean, I got to the hospital and I said, please give me as many drugs as possible before you reset that. Yeah. And he looked at me and said, what do I look like, a dentist? Of course I'm going to knock you out.
Yeah, but before we let you go, like what happened? Like what was the actual damage? What did the doctor say about your foot?
Yeah, so I broke both the bones in my right ankle. I will be off my foot for 4 to 6 weeks plus some physio. So it was pretty rough, but my husband's taking care of me. Waldo's been by my side this entire time, which is super sweet.
Wow.
And I bet now anytime you're thinking that you have to take Waldo out, you are always going to bring your phone with you.
Yeah, I'm never leaving my phone at home.
Yeah,
it was funny because we were joking with our friends that that when Waldo went to get our landlord was like, what's that, boy? Jess fell down a well?
That's amazing. Love you, Jess. Thanks for sharing your story today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Yo, Jamara, what's up? It's Roz and Mocha.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Wonderful.
Jamara, when and where does your Helluva Story take place?
In Livonia, Michigan.
Livonia, Michigan.
Is that where you live right now?
I actually live in Dearborn, but I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what happened in Livonia?
So I actually, I got this job, and it was like a 24-hour case. I was able to, work as much as I wanted to because I didn't have a kid at the time, right?
What kind of job is it?
It's a nursing job.
Okay, cool.
It was So it was, I didn't mind taking it, but it was just the fact that my mom was just, both of us were going to be working there. They sent us the job information. And when they sent it to us, we both jumped like crazy. We just didn't know what to do because they sent this picture and it was just a weird picture. We didn't like the way it looked.
A picture of what?
It was a picture of the woman that we would be taking care of.
Oh, so they sent you a picture of the woman you're taking care of and you and your mom looked at that picture and you both jumped?
Yeah, it was a jump scare. I was like, I don't know what that's about, but yeah.
Why did you jump?
Yeah, describe the picture. What'd she look like?
So she just looked normal. She's just a normal older woman, but it's ever since I was little, I always got these feelings, and my mother too, about people. And that was the first time I ever saw a picture and jumped that way. So obviously I knew that something was going to happen.
What was the feeling? Can you describe what that was?
My chest was really heavy. It was heavy. It was almost like an anxiety attack. I don't know if anyone has ever had one, but it was almost like that.
Okay. So do you and your mom take the job and go visit this lady?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Then what happened?
So we get there. I'm driving to this woman's house, and while I'm down the street, navigation is on. It's telling me it's coming up. But this man was walking towards my car, and I was driving past him. But when I looked in the rear view, he was gone. He wasn't there anymore. So, that was strike one for me because what was that? While I'm driving into the driveway, I see this woman in the blinds in the window of the house that I was going to go into. But it was weird because the company will always tell you if the family is there because sometimes family can be a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
So they always give you a warning. So I was just like, they didn't tell me the family was going to be here. But I didn't want to go in this house. It was just a feeling came over me. And I was like, I don't even want to go in. But I also didn't want to leave her, just in there all by herself. She can't take care of herself. But I walk in the house. And when I walk in there, we get her ready. She's getting to bed. And as soon as I sit down, when it's darker out, it's really dark in the kitchen area. And there's no light in there. Like, usually someone leaves the light on over the stove or something.
Yeah.
She didn't do any of that crap. So I was scared. I was scared out of my mind. And I closed the kitchen door. It was a sliding door. And when I closed it, I decided to doze off. She was in bed. She was fine. And it was a 24-hour shift, so I'm allowed to sleep. And I dozed off and someone tapped me on the shoulder. And I thought it was her. So I was worried and I jumped up. I'm like, oh my God, she got out of bed. But it wasn't her. It was the man that passed me in the street.
The one who disappeared?
Yeah.
And Jamara, are you by yourself at this point, or is your mom still in the house?
It was just me.
Okay.
My mom, actually, she was just doing once a week. So it was just me at this time. And when he tapped me on the shoulder and I noticed it was him and I jumped, he kind of backed into the kitchen. And remember, I closed the kitchen door. So, of course, I'm scared. I'm younger. I'm probably about 19 at the time. So I really didn't know how to handle these things. That really took over my entire body, seeing that man back into that kitchen like that.
So wait, do you think it's an intruder or do you think it's a ghost?
So sometimes you can always tell when it's a ghost, but I definitely knew that he was not alive.
Okay. So it was a ghost that tapped you. You can see ghosts.
Yes, I can see ghosts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he say anything to you?
Nope. He just backed into the kitchen.
What did you say to him?
Nothing.
And then where did he go?
He just backed into the kitchen and he closed the door back. And I started praying. I grew up Christian and I started praying. My mom always taught me to pray, you know, that when things like that happen, you want to pray. But when I told my mom about what happened, it was her turn to go to the house. And when she got there, she said that she saw the man in the corner sitting. And I said, did he say anything to you? She said, nope, he didn't come near me. The woman felt more comfortable sharing things with my mom. And she started to tell my mom about these things that happened with her and her husband and her daughter. And so, you know, my mom was just like, she's just angry. She's angry. And there's a lot of stuff that's going on in that house right now. Like, it's really dark there. It was my turn again to go there to look after her. And once I got there, I got this overwhelming feeling of anger. And the woman, she started to tell me about her daughter that passed away. And the woman that she showed me in the picture, she showed me a picture of her daughter. That woman that was in that picture was the same woman that was standing in the window when I pulled into the driveway.
What? And what about, did she mention anything about like her husband?
She didn't show me any pictures of him, but I'm guessing it was her husband.
No, but like, did she not say like my husband passed away? So now for you, it makes sense that that's who you're seeing in the house?
Yep. She said that he passed away and that he was the one, he built the house from the ground up. She said back in the 40s.
So no wonder he wants to stay.
So did you find out how the daughter died?
No, she just said that she died in a tragic way. She didn't even want to tell anybody.
Like in the house?
I'm guessing in the house. And she also never had any grandchildren. So that, you know, I guess she took care of her daughter when her daughter was, you know, when she died in this tragic or horrific way.
So how many times after these conversations, like, did you go back to the house or both you and your mom? Like, how long was this job for then?
The job was supposed to be until, you know, the woman met her demise. But my mom and I, we only went there a couple times. My mom wanted to help the woman out and pray around the house, but we also wanted to give them enough time to find someone else. But we did tell them we ain't doing it no more.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So wait a second.
Yeah.
So you and your mom can see ghosts, right? Is it just you and your mom?
No, it's majority of our family.
Do you see ghosts like every single day? Even if they're not like harmful or anything like that?
Yeah, everywhere. And I'm also a technician on a ICU floor in the hospital.
Yeah.
So imagine the stuff that I see every day.
Damn, girl. That was one hell of a story. Jamara, thank you so much for joining us today.
Bye-bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Jordan, when and where does your hell of a story take place?
So my story takes place just 2.5 weeks ago, really recently, here in my hometown in Leicester in the UK.
Okay, and so you're in your house. This happened at home?
Yeah, so I live in a home renovation. We bought a fixer-upper, which has taken quite a while to fix up.
Yeah.
Our house is 100 years old. We're only the third owners, and the last time it was decorated was, we think, probably the 70s. So a lot of lots of salmon pink and brown wood everywhere and retro carpets. It was a sight.
Are you guys doing the work yourselves?
Yeah, yeah. Also while paying for a wedding, so it's taken a really long time.
Okay, so you guys are in the middle of renovation hell, and so what happens?
So we opened up quite a few of our chimneys. We've got a few in the house, and we've pulled back some floorboards, and we've got some exposed plaster on the wall. Mm-hmm. And a few weeks ago, I was tidying up. As you imagine, it gets really dusty, and we've got a chess set made out of clay by our fireplace. And I noticed on this chess set something that looks a bit out of place. I initially thought it was a broken chess piece or a bit of rubbish, and I picked it up, and it was a human tooth.
What?
Yeah, a full-on rooted, pulled out human tooth.
Okay, so wait a second. Where was this chess set?
By the fireplace, like on the little mantle.
Okay, so you had a chess set. You guys are going through a home renovation. You got a chess set there. What's the chess set made out of?
Like clay and porcelain.
Okay, so you got a porcelain chess set, and then you see something on the chess board, and you walk over and pick it up, and it was a human tooth?
Yeah. It's a fully extracted tooth. It's not like a little broke off chip tooth.
And it's an adult tooth, so it's not like a kid tooth, right?
No, it's an adult tooth.
Okay,
yeah.
where did the tooth come from?
That's the mystery, really. There's a few. there's a few possibilities.
Okay.
So,
after you researched, what have you concluded?
So there's a couple of possibilities, right? It could be it's an old house. It's somehow wormed its way out of the wall under the floorboards and popped itself onto the chest piece.
But why would there be a tooth in the wall?
People did weird things, didn't they, back in the day? You don't know.
So, Jordan, throughout this renovation, outside of that one human tooth, have you found anything else?
No, just a few like old socks.
Are there things that you have to do? Like, is that considered like finding a human remain? Like, do you have to call the police?
So I called my uncle, who's a sergeant in the police force here, and he says if you find the rest of a human, then you've got something to work with. But a human tooth, they find them all the time, apparently. But what we're a bit concerned with is because we found it by the fireplace and we recently opened it up and it hasn't been active for, probably 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
It was quite common for people to go missing in the fireplace. Chimney sweeps and thieves used to get tested that way. So we're a bit paranoid that there's something in the fireplace that will be discovered when we get the chimney lined in 2 months' time. Or the possibility, which is kind of really morbid, and we think the most likely is because it's been unused for all this time, we have lots of birds nesting in there and we can hear them chirping away up the flute. And the birds that we get are corvids and crows, and they're scavengers, so they pick out anything. And a few weeks ago, we heard, about a month ago, we heard something come down the chimney flute that sounded like a stone hit itself on something that I guess now could have sounded like it hit porcelain, and we couldn't find what it was.
Girls, there's got to be a body up there.
So
there's got to be a body in your chimney.
There's either
I wouldn't be able to wait 2 weeks.
What
are you doing, Jordan?
There's either the 200-year-old bones of a chimney thief, or you got birds dropping human teeth down your chimney that are bouncing into your living room.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be either, really.
No.
No, there's a body in there. I guarantee you. Jordan, there's a body in there.
No, don't say that.
How have you not looked yet?
It's blocked at the bottom.
It's hard. Yeah.
So we've got like some plasterboard at the bottom, and things like, bits of old coal and old brickwork comes down every now and then. And
okay, I got a question here before we let you go. I'm sure you and is it your husband?
He's my fiance.
Okay, your fiance.
Husband.
Okay, I'm sure you and your fiance have had some sort of conversation where you're like, okay, finding a tooth is not ideal, but it's not a deal breaker for the house. Is there a conversation that you guys have had that is there anything that you could find after finding a tooth that would make you walk away from that house and the reno and the money forever?
Oh, well, probably the jaw that the tooth belongs to.
Okay, so if you found the jaw, then you guys are done.
Or some, satanic stuff. I wouldn't like to see any of that. Any spooky stuff.
Okay.
Then we're out of here.
So if it was some sort of ritualistic killing, and you find the jaw. I like how you said the jaw, not the rest of the person. That's even more disgusting.
I don't know.
I would rather find the whole body than just the jaw.
Jordan, I think there's a body up there. I honestly do. I'm not trying to scare you, but listen, that tooth got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
And that somewhere is someone who's in your chimney.
Oh, no.
Okay. Jordan, thank you so much. That was a hell of a story. Jordan out in the UK doing a home renovation with her husband. And during the home renovation, they found a human tooth. And now you're terrified to go up the chimney because you think that the person who owned that tooth at one time may still be there. Jordan, that's a crazy story.
Yeah, it is.
All right, girl. Yo, imagine there was like a stack of bodies in there.
I know. Like, what if there's multiple bodies?
Like 4 or 5?
Don't imagine it. Don't imagine it.
Yeah.
Anyway, good luck with the reno.
Yeah, man. I would.
Thank you.
I would just be lighting the hottest fires imaginable and just try and char whatever. But it's probably like an old coal fireplace too, isn't it? You can't even use it.
Yeah, that's wild. Jordan, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Angie. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello, Kelly. Welcome to Roz and Mocha's Helluva Story.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. Kelly, when and where does your hell of a story take place?
My story takes place about 40,000 feet up in the air in a big metal tube.
Oh, a plane, you mean?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Cool. All right.
That's what we call it in North America, girl.
just
I'm
making.
sure, it sounds like you're in the UK. I'm pretty sure in the UK they call it a plane as well.
We could.
We do, yes.
Okay.
I was trying to keep it a little bit of a secret. I was, teasing you a little bit.
Just making sure here. And when was this, Kelly?
So this was about 10 years ago now.
Okay. And so what were you doing on a flight?
So I used to work for a very patriotic big airline as a flight attendant. I worked for British Airways.
Oh, yes.
So I was working, yeah.
So you were a flight attendant on British Airways, BA, right?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
And how
Yes.
was that generally? Was it a decent experience for you or no?
Oh, generally it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I had the time of my life. I was jet setting absolutely everywhere. But this particular flight was quite interesting.
Okay.
So we were on our way back from Mauritius, which is quite a long journey from the UK. It's probably about 12 hours.
Okay.
And I was working right at the back of the flight on this particular journey. And I was giving out the food service. We were a few hours into the flight and I was at the back, got to the last few customers, and there was a couple there, young kind of couple on their honeymoon. And I came up to them and I said, I'm really sorry, we've just run out of the chicken, but we've got a vegetable curry for you. And he said, well, I don't eat vegetables. And I was like, you don't eat any vegetables? He was like, no, I don't eat any vegetables. I said, oh, well, the other food actually had vegetables with it. Oh, I still would have eaten that. I was like, well, I'm really sorry. I've checked with my colleagues. We haven't actually got anything left. But I can recommend this curry. It's really great. And it comes with like a bread roll and stuff. Well, no, I don't want that. So what are you going to do about it?
Okay.
And I was like, well, there's not really much I can do about it, unfortunately. And I got down to his level and I did all the right things. I tried to be as nice as possible. And he went, well, what are you having for lunch? And I was like, well, I made a sandwich back at the hotel in Mauritius. Well, I'll have that then. I was like, actually, sir, you won't be having my sandwich.
He
that I
wanted
made.
your lunch, the one that you made at the hotel that you were staying at?
My lunch,
Okay.
my well-prepared sandwich that I made. And I said, no, unfortunately, I'm not going to give you my sandwich. He was like, well, you need to get me something else. And then I started to get, probably shouldn't have done. I started to get a little bit passive aggressive at this point. And I was like, well, unfortunately, we are 40,000 feet up in the air. I can't just unlock the doors and go to the supermarket for you.
Right.
So I don't really know what else you want me to do. And at this point, he then started getting really irate and he started swearing at me. So I said, listen, sir, I'm really sorry. I can't do much else, but I'm going to leave this conversation. So I went back to the galley and I thought that would be it. But then I had to take out the tea and the coffee. And I'm walking down and I was like, tea or coffee, tea or coffee. As I did, his wife stood up on her seat. I'm not even joking. She stood up on her seat and started yelling, we're going to get you sacked. We're going to get you sacked. And I kind of looked at her and I was like, excuse me? She goes, yep, I'm on the phone to the owner of British Airways. He's a friend of mine right now.
Yeah, right.
Well, now I have a few issues with this comment
Yep.
because, and I probably shouldn't have said this, but I did because I'm British and we're sarcastic. I turned around and I said, I've never been able to make a phone call up in the air. We didn't have Wi-Fi on the flights at this point either. And she was pretending to be on her mobile. So I was like, we don't actually have access to making phone calls this high up in the air. But if you've managed to, that's fantastic. But also, I don't believe there is just one owner of British Airways. And if you are friends with one of said owners, why are you sitting at the back?
Oh.
I mean, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. And she carried on yelling that she was going to get me sacked, her and her man-child. So I said, right, at this point, I'm leaving this. So I went back into the galley. The big man-child followed me into the galley and cornered me. Now, I'm like 5'5", you know, I'm sort of average height, but he was like 6'5", towering over me. And I was like, you need to go back to your seat. It got awful. And this was all because he doesn't like vegetables and I couldn't give him chicken on a flight.
They sound like the perfect couple together, though.
I mean, the one thing that I'm more concerned about is by this point, they've probably bred. So they've probably got little man-child children running around.
curious, what was the sandwich that you brought from home?
I had a peanut butter sandwich. And people go, but you can't have peanuts on a flight. But that would be wrong. You can, as long as there are no allergies that have been known. And we get told when we check in if there's any allergies on board, at which time I would have to have said goodbye to my peanut butter sandwich. But there was no allergies. So he was never going to have that. Not a chance.
Okay.
He'd have to fight me.
Stop. So what happened at the end of the flight? Like, did they say anything to you or did you say anything to them?
My manager actually had to come down at this point because he was in the galley. And she was this tiny little lady. And she was like, sir, you cannot come back in the galley and yell at my colleagues, blah, blah, blah. So they sat down. My manager then moved me up into first class because she was like, I don't want you working down here with them. I was like, okay, fantastic, great. And then as we were saying goodbye to all of them, this customer from down the back went, so did you get an apology?
Oh my gosh.
As they walked past, I went, no, I didn't. And they just kind of looked and got off the flight. And that was it. That was the end of it.
I think that if you're a grown man, though, and I understand maybe you don't want the curry, whatever. I think if you you're on a flight and they run out of chicken. I think as a any sort of self-respecting grown man, if you're looking for another meal, make up any excuse. Don't look at somebody as an adult and say, I don't eat vegetables.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know, right? Like, who doesn't eat vegetables anyway?
4-year-olds.
That's amazing. Hey, Kelly, thank you so much, love.
No, thank you so much. Have fun in Canada.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Hi, Mackenzie. It's Roz and Mocha.
Hi, how's it going?
Doing great. How are you?
Mackenzie,
Good.
when and where does your Helluva Story take place?
It takes place about 2 years ago in Colorado.
Okay, and what happened?
Okay, so my dad and I always take a trip every single year. We go skiing in Colorado, and we stay in an Airbnb because that's just kind of what we prefer. So we found this cool place. It was like a basement lock-off at this woman's house. She was an older woman. It had great reviews. She was a super host on Airbnb. So we get there, we show up at her house, and she actually notifies us, hey, I'm going to be working overnight, so I'm not actually going to be at the house. So, I'm not going to be here, but I do have a roommate, and he's going to be here. And so we were like, okay. She's like, he doesn't have access to the basement. You won't really have any contact with him. He's going to come and go to work. And so, yeah, you have access to the basement.
How many nights were you guys planning on staying there?
We were planning on staying for 4.
Okay, so it's a good long trip.
Yeah.
Okay,
we
cool.
ski 3 days, and then we kind of like hang out one day.
Perfect.
Okay.
So you and your dad get to the Airbnb.
We get to the Airbnb. We go downstairs. Everything's super nice. That night, I go to sleep, and I hear the guy come home. You can kind of like hear him walking upstairs. And I am laying in bed. It's kind of late. It's like 2 a.m., okay? So he gets home late, and he's moving around, and all of a sudden I hear him like start to have an argument with someone. And I was like, oh, okay, like maybe he has a friend over. They're like arguing back and forth. I clocked that as weird, and uncomfortable,
What were they arguing about? Like just screaming at each other, or what were could you hear any details?
Yeah, so it was a little bit muffled because it was just kind of like upstairs in this room, but it was kind of like the one guy, like they were two unidentifiable voices, right? But there was one guy, and he was basically saying to this other guy, like, you're a screw up, like nobody likes you, there's something wrong with you, what's wrong with you? I know. And then the other guy was like, yelling back at him, just like kind of cursing and things like that. So it just sounded like this argument going back and forth. Wow. So I was like, that's super weird. I'm trying to sleep, like kind of annoying, right? Yeah. So I was able to fall asleep that night, okay? Next night comes, same time. It's like 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. This guy comes home. I hear him upstairs again, and this time he's arguing, but he's in the room directly above mine. I can hear him like walking around in the room. I was like, okay, maybe his room is like right above the room that I'm staying in this basement. So he's walking around screaming, and I'm like, why is this other guy here? Why are they having this argument going back and forth? And then all of a sudden I realize, because I'm trying to like listen very closely, that is the same person's voice. Like he's talking to himself and just changing his voice as he's talking. So he's talking like in one voice, and then he like changes his voice to sound kind of different, and then he's talking back to himself, and he's having this argument about how he's he's talking homicidally, he's talking suicidally, he's saying that he wants to end things, that he's going to do something crazy. And then he starts to you can hear him start to throw things around his room. So breaking things, stomping on the floor. He starts to bang on the floor above my head.
Oh,
so I'm literally laying in my bed looking up thinking, oh my God, this guy is homicidal living in this house, literally in the room right above me. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I know for sure he's talking to himself. He's saying really scary, crazy things. So I run to the room on the other side of this basement apartment, wake up my dad, and I tell him, I'm like, hey, I think we got a problem. This guy's freaking out upstairs. These are the things he's saying. And at this point, my dad comes out. At this point, this guy has started to run up and down the stairs.
Oh,
like,
God.
From the house to the top of the basement steps. So
oh my gosh,
he's running up and down the stairs. He comes to the door at the top of the basement and he starts jiggling the handle of the door sticking his fingers underneath the door of the basement door.
Yo, this is a horror movie right now.
Yeah, it's literally our only way out. There's no other lock-off door. You know how some basements have a door you can go out of? No, our only way to get out is to go up through the main house. So he's doing this. It's going on for a couple of minutes. My dad and I just start to look around in the kitchen. We grab 2 knives.
Oh my gosh.
And then we end up opening. We're just trying to protect ourselves, not because we want to hurt this guy.
Yeah.
We open the window and end up escaping out of the window of this basement lock-in, and we called the police. And by the time they got there, you know, he's back upstairs in his room doing whatever. They're like, we can't enter the home if something's not happening right now. But they stood outside with us. We were able to go inside and get our stuff. We call this lady. We're like, hey, can we let you know what's happening with your roommate? She acts like she could not even believe. Like, she was like, there's no way this is true.
What?
Like, he's such a
She didn't know? There's no way she didn't know.
See, that's what I'm thinking too. So she's like, he's so nice. She was like, he's a Christian missionary. He works for a delivery company. He's trying to save up money so he can go on a mission trip. Like, then she's like, let me call him. So she gets off the phone with us. Okay. She calls him. She calls us back and she goes, you know what? He let me know that he's going through a really hard time, and that's how his dad used to talk to him growing up. So he was just trying to give himself a slight pep talk. He didn't mean to scare you. Please come back and stay with us. And I was like,
no.
You don't understand.
No.
This man was trying to break into the basement after he was screaming that he wanted to unalive people. I don't think you're understanding that you are also in danger and should not return to your own home until he is gone.
Fingers under the door?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, fingers under the door, trying to enter the basement.
No.
And you had to grab 2 knives and leave the property.
No.
Did you get a refund on that spot, Mackenzie? On the Airbnb?
We got a partial refund. Airbnb was like, we'll issue you a partial refund for the nights and then that you didn't stay there. But we had to still pay for the nights that we stayed, the 2 nights we stayed.
You had to pay for the fingers under the door night?
We paid for them. I wish I had done more, but I kind of honestly left the care of this situation into my dad's hands because he planned the trip. And I was like, listen, man, you do whatever you want with it. I'm going to let this lady know she's in danger and let's get out of here.
Wow, Mackenzie.
God.
Horror movie.
Yeah.
That was one hell of a story. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks for having me. If you want to find any more stories like this, you can follow me on all socials at It's Mackenzie Janae, Jene, and I tell more about the story and some more details.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's great.
You're the best. Have a great weekend.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Margaret, hello. It's Roz and Mocha.
Good morning.
So excited to talk to you today, Margaret.
Margaret, when and where does your hell of a story take place?
When did it take place? It took place July 20th, 1968.
Oh, wow. Okay, what happened July 20th, 1968, Margaret?
My husband and I were married.
Oh, congratulations, I guess.
Yeah, married in a small town in Enderby in the Okanagan Valley.
Okay,
yeah.
got it. Yeah.
It's north of Vernon, in the Okanagan Valley.
Okay, so what made this wedding special, aside from the fact that it was your one true love and you guys getting it done? But what's the story here?
Well, the story is 56 and a half years later, I get a text from my girlfriend who was a bridesmaid at the wedding.
Yeah.
And who still lives in Enderby, saying that, asking me if I have my original wedding pictures. And I said to her, Sandy, no, I don't. unfortunately, we could never afford to go pick them up.
Okay, so hold on here. So when you got married in 1968, you guys didn't have a lot of money, and you hired a wedding photographer, and then when it came time to going to pick up your pictures from your wedding, you never picked them up because you couldn't afford to pick them up?
That's right. And we never stayed in Enderby. We moved to Vancouver.
Gotcha. And so
that.
so what was that like for you guys to not have your wedding pictures?
Well, we had a few that were taken by the camera. We had, I think, 2 of them. And but, in that day and age, pictures weren't a big thing.
Were you busted up or a little heartbroken at the time that it came down to, money, and that was the reason why you couldn't get those memories?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I thought about it for the next couple of years, but, unfortunately, circumstances was still the same. We didn't have the money, and when I finally did, I couldn't track down the photographer.
Okay, so your friend, your bridesmaid from your wedding back in 1968, asked for the photos from the wedding day. Was there a particular reason, or she was just curious? She just wanted to see them?
Well, my friend is the president of the museum in Enderby.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And she works 2 or 3 days a week there. And they, in a small museum in Armstrong, which is not too far from Enderby, they had come across this envelope of pictures, which said Sharman Towers Wedding, July 20th, 1968, and had W.E. Saby on it.
Right.
So this girl in Armstrong was looking at these pictures, and she recognized my girlfriend, Sandy, who was one of the bridesmaids in the pictures. So the pictures ended up in the museum in Enderby.
What?
And Sandy opens this picture, and that's when she texted me to say she had 3 of my pictures.
Oh, my God.
From our wedding in this envelope. Yes. Oh, my God, it's right. And so she immediately texted them to me, and I immediately cried when I saw them. It was very emotional seeing them, very emotional.
And what about your husband? Did you show them to him?
Oh, yes. Yeah, he was right there with me, giving me some hugs.
Oh, that's amazing. So how many photos in total ended up at the museum?
3.
3. And so do you have them now?
Yes.
You do?
So the museum didn't ask to like hang on to them for any reason?
No, they have the originals. Sandy got me some copies.
Wow.
But she's going to try and get me the originals because she's thinking that they probably won't hang on to them. So I'm not going to get these ones framed until I know if I can get the originals. But they're good. They're black and white.
Yeah.
So
but they're good.
You've been married 56 years now, and you just saw your wedding pictures for the very first time. How long into your marriage did you have to come to terms with letting go of those pictures? Do you know what I mean? Of realizing that you'll never get them.
I think in the 80s when I finally could not track this gentleman down, and I have learned since that he was a wedding photographer in the 60s and 70s and did pass away in 1983.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you tried. You tried to go looking for your pictures.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, I did. We would go back to our hometown in Enderby for visits in the summer, and I did try and find this photographer who was in this small town next to Enderby. So, but
Margaret Sharman. So in 1968, you got married, couldn't afford to pick up your wedding pictures. And 56 years later, you get a phone call being like, "Hey, I found your pictures."
I know.
And now they're back with you guys, and that is just an incredible story, Margaret. Holy!
Well, don't you think it's a miracle?
I mean, it's got to be close, right?
Yeah, I think so. I
love
think
it.
so.
Absolutely love it. Love your hell of a story. That was wonderful, Margaret. Thank you.
Okay, then.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, Roz and Mocha, how are you doing?
Good.
Natasha, when and where does your hell of a story take place?
My hell of a story takes place 16 years ago.
Wow.
It's about my wedding. So 16, almost 17 years ago, my husband and I were getting married in Barbados.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And literally everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong.
Okay, let's start stacking them up here. So what was the first thing that went wrong?
So as I said, we were getting married in Barbados. So we're on the plane on the way there.
It's like a whole huge group of us. And we're sitting, and like when that's the form you have to fill out for customs, and it asks all the questions. So I'm sitting next to my then fiance, and he's reading through the form, and he gets to that question where it's like, do you have any monetary instruments over $10,000?
Right.
And he just goes like ghost white. And I look at him, I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, the bank draft. So a couple days, the day before, he had purchased a bank draft to pay all of the final vendors and like all of the final balances for our wedding. And he left it locked in our glove compartment.
Oh, God.
In our driveway in Canada.
And you had to pay people in Barbados with this?
Yeah. All the wedding vendor, the venue, all the final balances.
And how much was the bank draft?
It was, I can't remember that. It was
a lot.
Several, a lot. It was
like thousands.
A lot, like thousands.
Thousands.
Like over 10,000.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
So, and it's funny because we're like, well, what do we do? And my mom is one of those, like, God love her. She's one of those people that goes from like 0 to 100. So we're like, immediately, we can't tell my parents because she's going to freak out and it's going to cause the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, so what do we do? So we get there, we check in, we go to our room, and he gets on the phone with the bank because it's a bank draft. So we're like, okay, maybe they can like cancel and reissue something, wire the money, something. We'll figure it out. And the manager is like, no, but bank draft is like cash. There's nothing we can do.
Yikes.
And we're like, well, we're 3,000 miles away. It's our wedding. What do we do? And so she suggests calling MasterCard to see if like maybe they'll, cash advance and we can pull the money off that way. We went through this dance like 5 times, like 5 levels up manager. Like, and by this point now I'm crying, like I'm freaking out. My husband's on the phone. And finally we get to like the top level guy, whoever it was. And he's like explaining the situation, for the 5th time. And he's like, oh yeah, no problem. Sure.
Oh, wow.
We'll just cash advance, on your card. And then you can pull the cash and get it that way. When you get back to Canada, take the draft into the bank and we'll cancel it. It's fine. So that was number 1. Number 2, when they did cash advance, finally, they cash advanced the amount in Canadian dollars, not U.S. dollars.
Oh, no! Yo, and you're in sunny Barbados, got to deal with all this nonsense?
So we still ended up short, yeah.
Like how much short? How much? Approximately?
A couple thousand.
Thousands.
Yeah.
So are you telling people now at this point? Like, are you telling your guests and No, you're not at all.
No,
okay, cool. Okay.
We've told nobody. It's just us, and we're like, okay, we're going to shoulder this thing.
Okay.
So
number 3
So number 3, this is the next day. Now we have to go, to the venue, meet with our wedding planner, pay all the final balances, whatever. So we're like, okay, we're short. We're going to have to tell my parents now and see like what can happen. So we get there. And first thing we get there, they had sent us like the floor plan and the layout of everything for me to do the seating chart. Yeah. It's completely different than what we sent. They don't even have the same number of tables. Like it's just a completely different layout. So I'm walking in like the day before my wedding realizing I'm going to have to redo the entire seating plan. So then we sit my parents down and we explain the situation with the bank draft. And like, I don't know if it was just a case where my dad was like, these kids don't know what they're doing. Like he'd been stacking cash for months. Like he pulls out this like wad of U.S. cash and he's like, how much do you need? I got you. No problem.
No. Wow. Hey.
We're like, wow. Okay.
Hey.
Wow. Whoa.
We leave there. We're heading back to the hotel and we're in the taxi and my dad's like, has anybody seen my man purse? He left it at the venue, like lost it, couldn't find it.
Question, did that man purse have all that money in it that you needed?
It did have the stacks of cash.
Oh,
no! So we called. Thankfully, they had it there at the bar. We had to go back and we found it. So we got that. Next morning, now it's the day of the wedding. We're like, okay, it's great. I get up. It's like bright blue, sunny skies. It looks beautiful. I go out on the balcony. I'm sitting writing thank you cards to my bridesmaids, my girls, whatever. And then I get up and I go in the shower. I come out. It's pitch black. Like the skies have opened up. It starts pouring like Armageddon rain. Like I've never heard thunder that loud.
Yeah.
And did I mention that we're getting married on a cliff top?
Sure. Go.
Oh,
it just makes it even better.
You just did.
Yeah.
So it's pouring now on your wedding day.
Like I've never heard thunder that loud, like the pitch black pouring Armageddon style rain.
Yeah.
And so, we're on the phone trying to get a hold of the wedding planner. She's not answering the phone. By this point, my mom's outside in the hallway pacing. Like it's just a disaster. Everybody's freaking out. Like, what are we going to do? And then knock at the door. My photographer walks in and he has this look in his eye. Like, I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, I don't want to alarm you, but I've just fried my camera body.
Oh, no!
So walking over from his room to ours in the rain, his camera got soaking wet because, like I said, it was Armageddon rain and fried the camera body.
So what happened? Did you guys wind up getting married? Did it work out for you?
We did. We ended up getting married. I got a bouquet of flowers because apparently my husband was, going to get his hair cut on the way to the wedding and the roads were flooding out, and he sent me a bouquet of flowers that said, come hell or high water, we're getting married today.
Oh, hey.
Still on the cliff top, or no? You had to change?
Still on the cliff top. It worked out. We went there. Apparently at that part of the island, it was just cloudy. There was no rain. So it was wet and damp. It had rained in the morning, but it cleared over by the time of the wedding. So it was cloudy. It wasn't the beautiful blue skies we were hoping for, but we got married, and 17 years in September, we are still together.
Well, there you go, Natasha. Congratulations.
Yeah. And your dad found his man purse.
And he found his man purse.
That was one hell of a story. Thanks for sharing, Natasha.
Thank you.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Nesh, when and where does your hell of a story take place?
So the story takes place pretty much my whole life around the world. But what I'm going to tell you, it starts in Toronto in around 2021.
Okay.
Okay, so this is going to blow the socks off of any rom-com you've ever watched. Like, it's so good. Amazon just put out a series about it.
About you?
Yeah.
Oh. No.
Okay, so it's 2021 and COVID is starting to blow over. I'm in my early 30s. I'm a divorced single mom. Business is good. And I'm just living my life. And I don't want to mess that life up. And in my head, men are problems. But also I like men. So there was my little conundrum. So of course, so I download Tinder, obviously, and I meet this guy. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you, probably too honest. From his profile, he just struck me as someone who didn't have a job.
Oh my God! Yo, you can tell that just by looking at a picture.
Wow! And you were like,
that's a different story.
And you were like, "That's the guy for me."
Well, listen. So, when I was younger, grungy was totally my type, and it's not like I'm trying to marry this person, right? I'm meeting people. We match, and immediately though, we're having the most in-depth conversations of my life, and I'm not someone who will open myself up to men, and every day though, I'm looking forward to talking to him. So our first date rolls around and we're going to meet. But that morning, I'm playing with my daughter and I bump my head on my headboard. And so I've had really bad concussions before. And so just to be safe, I go to the emergency room. And the whole time, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the clock and I really don't want to miss this date. But I end up having to cancel. So he's on the other end of the phone thinking I'm making this whole thing up just to stand him up. But we keep talking. And while I'm recovering from my head bump, we meet up, we go for a walk, and we just have a wonderful date. We have a first kiss, just rom-com stuff. So we fall in love. Fast forward a year and a half. And now he's in my life now, my perfect life. My family, my daughter, he's a part of it. So this part of the story, I have to be honest with you, a lot of it I've been told. So just know that.
Oh.
So one day we wake up, normal day. We go to get coffee. We're walking my dog. And then we go back to my place and we start watching a movie, Marie Antoinette, I think. And so I'm like, listen, I feel a little weird. I'm going to take a nap. But then after I wake up, I start to ask weird questions like, where are we going? Where are we? What's going on? And then by that evening, we're in the car to go pick up my daughter. And again, I'm like, where are we going? And he's like, we're going to get your daughter. And then I turn to him and I say, I don't know how to take care of a child. I don't have a child.
Oh.
I lost my memory. So I think I'm about 17 years old. And every minute, in the movies, my memory resets every minute, So I forgot my daughter. Anytime I see my sisters, I'll cry because in my head they're children, but they're adults, Even when I see myself, my own body, I'll cry because I say, why is everything lower than it's supposed to be? Just terrifying time.
Wait, but do you know who he is?
No. So because he had been driving me, I think he's an Uber driver. And I'm always like a little bit annoyed with him because I'm like, why is this Uber driver still here? You know, like really invasive. So I don't know who he is. I think he's an Uber driver. And as it turns out, I hit my head the night before. So this was another brain trauma thing. And he sticks around though. So over the next few months, he's like there for me. Like, you know, he looks up how to braid hair on YouTube and he's braiding my hair every day. And
you guys are like sleeping in the same bed and stuff?
I don't remember if we were. I think we probably were. And he would have to talk me through sleeping because my memory would reset so often, like once a minute. That once a minute, I'm like, what's going on? What's going on?
Okay, so you had a history of concussions, and you met a guy on Tinder. Everything was going great. Years later, he's in your life, in your daughter's life. All is good. You bump your head again, and then all of a sudden, you're now living a life of where your memory is resetting like every minute. So you're grown. You don't know you have a daughter, even though you're on your way to pick up your daughter. Your boyfriend is driving the car, and you think what? Like he's a driver?
I think he's an Uber driver.
You think he's an Uber driver. And so he's constantly having to remind you of the things you have in your life, and you are still dealing with this? Like your mind, your memory was resetting?
It was resetting. You know, for him, it would have been a great exit point because it was a lot to deal with. But yeah, and it was really scary. Okay, so fast forward a few months. Actually, even before that, like anytime though, even though I don't remember him, anytime I'm like going in for an appointment or something, and my mom would be like, who do you want with you? I would always choose him, even though I don't know him. So I fall back in love with him. And one day I'm like, hey, we should go get a bubble tea. And then like an hour later, I turn to him and I'm like, hey, weren't we supposed to get bubble tea? And then we look at each other and we start crying because now we're like, okay, maybe I'm going to get better. Time goes on and he proposes to me and we have a son now. Yeah. And the videos of my memory loss, they go viral on TikTok and become a whole thing. In terms of where my memory is today, I can maybe remember like 20% of new memories, and it takes me a few days to start to forget things. So in a few days, like I'll remember I had this conversation with you guys, but I won't necessarily remember the conversation itself. And a lot of people on the internet said it was like 50 first dates. And because of that, Amazon made their series and it's called 50,000 First Dates.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that's my love story.
Wow.
So
Perfect story for Valentine's Day. Holy.
You wear a helmet?
I don't wear a helmet, but I've definitely changed my activities of what I do because concussion can be from your brain shaking, right? So I have to be just really careful. My son, though, I put a soft helmet on him because I'm so nervous about brain injuries.
Damn. Nesh, by the way, we are Roz and Mocha. We've been on the phone together now for about 5.5, 6 minutes. Just in case you're wondering who these two weirdos are asking all sorts of questions about your life. Happy Valentine's Day, and thank you so much for sharing your story. That was definitely one hell of a story. Remind us again, on Prime, the name of the show is?
50,000 First Dates.
And it's based on your life. Incredible.
It's based on my life.
Thank you, Nash. Appreciate you. Love you.
Thanks so much. Love you guys. Bye.
I love
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
I've been waiting so long to talk to Sailing with Phoenix, a guy named Oliver Widgers. So this guy, Mocha, he sold his life, everything, walked away from everything to sail around the world for the rest of his life with zero training or experience in sailing.
That doesn't sound safe.
He taught himself. I want to play you his first video. And his first video, part one, is like it's over the course of a year. And it starts with him sitting in his car talking about his life. And then it cuts. You'll hear it cut in the video. And it's him on a sailboat with his cat. Listen to this. This is Oliver.
My name is Oliver. I work a corporate job at a tire shop. I absolutely hate this life.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to buy a sailboat and I'm going to sail around the world for the rest of my life until I die. This is the start of my journey.
Wow.
And this is day one.
Oh my God.
Of crossing the Pacific Ocean and sailing from Oregon to Hawaii. And I made it past the graveyard of the Pacific. And this is my first time sailing outside of a river. And I'm going for Hawaii. So it could take me anywhere between 20 to 30 days. So feel free to follow the journey. There is nothing but open ocean. and a beautiful sunset.
And people followed the journey. His socials exploded, and it was him alone with his cat on a sailboat. And this is one of the most incredible life stories that I've ever followed on social media.
Oliver, what the hell?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Have wanted to have you on Helluva Story ever since your story started. For people who may not be that familiar, Oliver, can you just do a sort of brief rundown of where you were in your life and what you decided to do?
I mean, I was working the corporate job and like is super depressed. I got like a crazy, like diagnosis with my neck. And then that was what gave me the courage to quit and then liquidate my 401k to sail around the world.
Wow. Now, before doing all of this, Oliver, did you have a conversation with like family or friends to be like, hey, I got this idea? And what was their reaction?
So like my close friends and family, I think they were like, they'd seen the place I was. They saw like a different person after I found purpose, basically. Yeah. So my family and friends they were on board with it.
And when you make the decision to sail around the world, but you didn't know how to sail, right?
Yeah, I didn't know how to sail. I didn't know anything about boats or anything. I couldn't afford the classes to learn how to sail, so I just watched some YouTube videos and started taking my boat out. It's still very questionable whether or not I know how to sail.
Also, in doing your research, Oliver, before you were to take this trek, we heard in one of your videos or watching one of your videos, you crossed an area called the graveyard in the ocean. Yeah, so does that not deter you whatsoever or make you question whether or not you're doing the right thing?
It totally did. So the first hour of my passage was most dangerous. And because that was the graveyard of the Pacific was the Columbia Bar. And I had to cross that. And that was within the first hour.
Yeah.
I was so nervous, to cross it. But once I crossed it, all the nerves kind of went away.
Oftentimes with stuff like this, it's not a mechanical issue that'll get to you. It's loneliness. And in one of your videos, you made reference to being closer to the astronauts on the International Space Station than you were to another human being on Earth. What's that kind of loneliness like?
It's not. I didn't get to experience it to the fullest extent, unfortunately, because I had Starlink the whole time, so I had the ability to FaceTime friends and family whenever I wanted. So it was mechanical failure was the thing that made me realize how real it was.
You needed to be inspired. You needed to inspire yourself in life, and you found that inspiration. But did you know that you were going to become such an inspiration to so many people?
No, I had no clue. That was a complete surprise to me. The idea that I've become an inspiration is absolutely absurd. And that just goes to show how wrong, how messed up the world is that I'm an inspiration. You know what I mean?
And where are you right now?
Crazy. Right now I'm in Waikiki Yacht Club in Hawaii, in Honolulu.
And how's Phoenix doing?
She's good. She's on the boat right now, right next to me. She's happy.
There was a lot of people, as soon as you started pulling into Hawaii, everybody freaked out on social media because they thought that they were going to take Phoenix and quarantine her because they have super strict rules about bringing animals. What was the process for your kitty like?
Yeah, I did everything by the books, and that wasn't my cat going into quarantine was just not an option. I literally would have, if that was the case, I would have just sailed to French Polynesia right then and there. The window still would have been correct to do it, and it's just not an option. But I just did everything by the books, and Hawaii was really cool about me coming in, and they were great about it.
Hawaii is a very difficult place to leave. I mean, we know that you want to sail around the world, but you're still in Hawaii and have been in Hawaii for a little bit now. What's next? When do you leave?
I could leave in the next few months. That would be the next window to leave, but it's not enough time. I'm going to sail around the world, but I'm in no rush. I want to stay a little bit longer than a few months, but unfortunately, I have to stay until March.
One final question before we let you go, Oliver. Have you had during this journey other people, your followers, people who are following your journey, reach out and say, I want to join you, or can I meet you in your next destination and hop on the boat and go with you?
Yeah, I've had so many people reach out and ask to go with me, but like my thing is I trust myself enough to get myself there safely and my cat safely there, but I don't trust myself enough to keep someone else safe or give them the correct information to keep them safe.
Wow. Sailing with Phoenix, Oliver Widger. Thank you so much for joining us on Roz Mocha's Helluva Story. All the best to you, bro. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Aussie in New Brunswick. What's up? It's Roz and Mocha.
Yes, how are you this morning?
Good, man. Is it Aussie or Ozzy?
Ozzy.
Ozzy.
It's Osborne, but everybody calls me Ozzy.
There you go. Okay, Ozzy. Welcome to Roz and Mocha's Helluva Story. When and where, Ozzy, does your Helluva Story take place?
Apparently it took place in Toronto around the 1960s.
And how old are you now?
I'm 68.
Okay. And so this took place in Toronto in the 1960s. What happened in the 1960s?
Apparently I was involved in a minor accident.
Like a car accident?
Yes.
Okay.
So they say. Now, I got no recollection of this whatsoever.
Okay, so how do you even know that you were in a car accident?
Well, I was involved in a minor accident here in New Brunswick in December.
Yeah.
And the constable sent in a report that I should have a medical and a driver's test.
Because you're how old again? 85?
85 at that time. Yeah.
85 at that time. Okay, cool. And
and then I had to take a driver with me to go down for my driving test.
Yeah.
In case I failed, he would be able to drive me home.
Right.
So I went down to get my test done and was told I couldn't have a test. My license was under suspension.
Okay.
And I said, well, how can that be? He said, it's from Ontario. So I come back home and I tried to get, for 4 or 5 days, to get a hold of the people in Ontario to find out what's going on. I finally got through to Gary Anderson at the accident refund or accident, something to do with that if you have no insurance that you have to pay.
Okay.
They pay for you. Anyway, I got hold of him and he sent me information about the accident. But that's the first I've ever heard of anything that I was involved in an accident.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Ozzy, is your hell of a story that you had a suspended license for over 60 years and you had no idea?
They've never suspended my license. I was in Ontario from 1960 to 1971 when my mother passed away and left the property here for me.
Okay, so you're disputing the fact that you had a suspended license.
Yes, and I come back here and I got New Brunswick license.
And
Class 5. I got a Class 1 license here in New Brunswick. I went back out to Alberta, got my Class 5 out there.
Okay, so Ozzy, so when you have to go and get your driver's test done, because as a seniors, that's what you have to do, and then they tell you, hey, we can't give you one because your license is suspended because of an accident you got in 1960. And was there a fine attached to that at all?
I never got a ticket. I've never got information from anybody regarding it.
But what did they say you owe them?
$4,000.
Oh my God, bro. Okay. Please tell us you didn't pay that money.
You can buy a brand new Buick car for $4,000 those days.
Wait, but hold on, Ozzy. You never paid that fine though, right?
I've never received a notice to pay a fine.
All right.
Okay.
Damn.
So
I've never had a problem getting a driver's license since then.
So suspended license for like 63 years plus a $4,000 tab. Damn, bro. You're never going back to Ontario, huh?
Well, there's a lawyer looking into it and getting the paperwork supposedly. But I don't know what they're going to find because I got no idea what's going on.
Okay, and again for the record, Oz, do you remember other things from 1960?
Well, I remember working for McDonald Appliance Servers. I'd done major refrigeration work and everything for them
But what I mean
up until 1971.
No, but what I mean is that when they're telling you that you got in a car accident in 1960 and you don't have any recollection of that, are there other things that somebody could tell you that you did in 1960 that you would also not remember?
Oh, quite possibly.
Okay.
You know, I had a hard time remembering my last doctor's appointment, let alone 60 50 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Damn, Ozzy.
Okay, I'd maybe say don't tell all this to the lawyer.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay, Ozzy, that was a hell of a story. So, Ozzy, again, in your 80s, and you went to go and get your license renewed because you're still kicking it and you're still driving, and they told you that your license was suspended because of an accident that you got in 1960 and that you didn't remember even being in an accident. Also, you owed them $4,000.
That's right.
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
Don't ever pay up, Ozzy, no matter what anyone says.
Yeah, fight the man.
Now, I'll give you another little point on that. I got a call from the driver's examination office here in Bathurst 2 weeks after I first went down there. And he said, forget about Ontario. He said, anything over 10 years, we don't recognize it anyway.
Oh.
Come and get your test.
Well, good luck on that, Ozzy, okay?
All right, Ozzy.
We're with you, buddy.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, man.
You too. Thanks for calling.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Rebecca, hello. It's Roz and Mocha. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to Roz and Mocha's Helluva Story.
Rebecca, when and where does your Helluva Story take place, love?
Okay, so this story takes place in Whistler, British Columbia in the summer of 2018.
Oh, it's beautiful out there.
Okay.
Oh, gorgeous. Loved it.
So what were you doing? What were you doing in Whistler?
So my boyfriend's name is Jay, and I'm going to use his name a lot in this story, so just to keep it easy. So Jay's brother, he had already had plans to go out to Whistler. So we're like, okay, let's head to Whistler.
Perfect.
So finally we get to Whistler and we're super excited. I'm like a hiker girl, and so is my boyfriend. So like, let's go for this hike. Okay, great. So previously his brother and his sister had also done the same hike, and they did not bring enough water.
Oh.
Now, when I say something that's kind of ridiculous, this hike is a 2-day hike for most people.
2 days?
Wow.
For most people.
Most people, like average hikers or experienced?
I'm going to say average.
Okay. Wow, that's a long time. A 2-day hike. Yeah?
Yeah. And all my boyfriend's sister brought with her was a 710 milliliter bottle of Gatorade.
Oh, wow.
No.
That's not enough. That's not enough.
That ain't
That's
enough.
not enough. Okay.
No, so we came super prepared. We brought like a ton of water. Oh, sorry, I'm not.
It's
allowed
okay.
to
It's fine.
swear.
It's fine.
So we wanted to do the hike in one day. So we wanted to be all the way up and all the way down in one day. We started hiking up. We ran out of water halfway up the mountain.
Damn, girl. So y'all weren't prepared.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. So then it starts to get a little bit like towards the end of the day of sorts. So we're just like, okay, we need to hurry this up. So my boyfriend has this great idea. Hey, let's take the glacier down. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen a glacier before or experienced a glacier, but in the summertime, it can be spotty. So it's either snow or it's ice. So all of a sudden, my boyfriend's just like, grab a plastic bag, sit on your bum, and just go down the glacier.
Oh, you mean like slide all the way down?
Yes, yes.
Well, I guess that's the only way.
Oh, my God. Okay.
On our way towards the glacier originally, like on our way up, we see this girl. So this is before we even hit the peak. And she's in agony, like on the ground, crying, screaming, crying. And we're like, oh, she's probably just tired. Like, come on, what's with these people who can't climb mountains? Anyway, okay, we keep going. We're at the top. Jay says, let's take the glacier down. Mid-glacier, all of a sudden, Jay disappears. And about 2 minutes later, I see him wobbling, and he yells to me, go right, I'm hurt, go right. And in the distance, where he tells me to go right, there's a bear.
Oh my God.
Okay. So I was like, okay, I'm going to keep going right, even though there's a bear here. Finally we meet up, and thank God the bear disappeared. Thank God. Sorry, that was not part of the story, but it was part of the story anyways, because it terrified me. And he's covered in blood from head to toe.
Oh, wow.
So what ended up happening was that he completely shredded the entire right side of his body, because on the glacier, instead of hitting snow, he hit ice.
Oh.
So then we're like, okay, this is no good. And then remember how I told you about that girl who was screaming, crying?
Yeah.
She did the same thing, and she had to get airlifted from the Vancouver Whistler people.
Okay.
Paramedics. So then finally, we're like, okay, we're running down the mountain. The whole time, Jay's dripping in blood. On our way to get the safety, we found this paramedic who saw us.
Yeah.
And he said, I saw you guys sliding down the mountain, and I knew you were going to get hurt. He said, okay, well, I have bandages. Can we trade bandages for mosquito repellent? Because the mosquitoes were so bad at that time.
So how does the story end? Obviously, you're okay.
We are okay. The end of the story is that basically it's more of like a warning. Bring enough water.
I'm not going to a mountain.
and don't take the glacier slide down.
I have no desire to climb for 2 days and then slide down a glacier on a garbage bag.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun, Rebecca.
Yeah, thanks for the warning, but not needed.
That was one hell of a story. Thank you, Rebecca.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks so much, guys. I listen to you every day and love you guys so much.
Love you too. I'm glad
Take
that
care.
you're okay. Bye-bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Shani, where and when does your hell of a story take place?
Back in 2012,
Okay.
on an airplane, coming back from a family trip. I was 16, and on this flight,
Where were you coming back from?
Israel. So it was a very long flight,
How long is that flight?
11, 12 hours.
Oh, okay, cool.
Israel back to Canada?
Toronto.
Toronto. Okay, cool. So you're with your family on a flight back from Israel to Toronto. A lot can happen on a flight, as we know. What happened to you?
So the way the plane was, it was the rows of three. So the aisle was my grandmother, I'm in the middle, and then some stranger at the window seat.
Okay.
It was a young mom. She had a baby with her, probably about a month old, I would say, like very, like newborn.
Yeah. Okay.
She didn't seem to speak any English, but she seemed to really be struggling to get all of her stuff put away, seatbelt on for the flight to take off.
Okay.
So she's kind of just trying to get everything going. The baby's asleep on her, but she's struggling. And I kind of, offer, do you need some help? I thought she was, can you just put the bag under the seat or put it in the storage above? But she hands me the baby.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, cool. Baby's going and sleeping on me.
Okay, wait. So you see this young mom, she's struggling with like all her bags fumbling around because you got to travel with a lot of stuff when you're traveling with a kid. And you're like, she doesn't speak English, but you gesture, hey, do you want me to give you some help? And then she's like, yeah, sure. But instead of like handing you a bag to put up in the overhead, she hands you her baby?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, I like kids. Baby's really good, just sleeping. So baby's got its head on my chest, just sleeping. Mom goes, gets her stuff put away, does up her seatbelt. At this point, the plane's been like moving down the tarmac, getting ready to actually fully take off. And once she gets herself all settled, she looks, I'm like, okay, maybe she's going to take the baby back. Nope. She puts her head on my lap and falls asleep.
Who, the mom?
The mom?
Yep, the mom. So I got the baby on my chest and the mom's head on my lap.
And you're 16 years old.
I'm 16.
Okay.
With my grandmother beside me laughing hysterically, my parents on the other side couldn't contain their laughter, and
nobody came to your rescue? Your whole family left you like that?
My dad started taking pictures. He thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Oh my God.
I was really shy and awkward. Like, I'm not going to be, I don't want to disturb this one, but I'm like, what? There's a baby on.
Okay. How long does this go on for?
I'd say it was about half hour, 45 minutes.
Okay, that's too long.
We're up in the air.
Yeah.
And so then the flight attendants start making their rounds. And they come over, they see, my family's laughing, and I'm just there, like, not even knowing what to do. Like, trying to be helpful to this lady, but also, I want to be comfortable.
And it's also not your baby.
It's also your lap.
Yeah, the flight attendant's like, do you know this one? I say, no. And flight attendant says, do you want help? I'm like, yes, please. She's like, okay, 1 second. Calls over the other flight attendants to get a good laugh.
Oh my God, you're getting flamed, huh? It's so bad.
And then, once everyone enjoyed it, they nudged her and woke her up. She took the baby and was all good.
Oh my God.
And for the rest of the flight, did she ask you at all, like if she needed to go to the washroom, was she like, yo, you wanna hold the baby? Like, you know the kid already.
Right? Okay. No, you know what? She kind of just kept to herself. She had her books, and then the baby just slept on her chest the whole time. But afterwards, when we got off the flight, in the car ride home, of course, family's still laughing about it. And my dad mentions to me that her husband and the rest of their kids were sitting right behind us.
No!
Yeah, I had no idea.
No.
And nobody offered to help. And they had a free babysitter.
And by the way, I'm looking at the picture that you sent us, okay? And if anybody's wondering how you in the middle seat and the woman on the window seat, how she could have rested her head on your lap to fall asleep, because to me, that seems awkward. Like, how do you lean sideways and do it?
Yeah.
That's not what she did. I'm looking at the picture right now.
It's not like the right or the left.
No, the woman turned towards her.
Yeah.
Faced her and just went nose first into her lap.
Oh my God. So like her nose was in between your thighs?
Yeah, it was it was quite the
She's face first, nose first in your lap. It's not the side of her head like a pillow. It's face first, nose in.
And she was out cold.
At the end of that flight, like, I'm surprised they didn't ask you to be godmother or something.
But her family was behind her? The husband was behind her?
Yeah.
Oh, my
I
God.
don't even know if he noticed. I think they had like 2 other kids that he was dealing with or something. I don't know. They got off together and kind of, when everyone stood up.
Yeah.
She had a great nap.
Wow. Good for you. Good. Wow. Hey, good for you. That is, Shannon, that is one hell of a story. Thank you so much.
No problem.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello, Sombra. It's Roz and Mocha.
Hello. Good morning. How are you guys?
Good. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Sombra, when and where does your hell of a story take place?
So my story takes place in Brampton about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Brampton, Ontario.
And what happened? What happened?
Okay, so I'm a high school teacher.
Okay.
And I teach communications technology, which is kind of like video production. And I also teach tech design, which is kind of like drafting, if you remember back in the day.
Yep.
So 2 very different kind of courses. I was teaching this particular tech design class, and we had to start building things. And we were assigned into a computer lab. And I'm like, well, we can't build anything in here. So I decided to switch my entire class over to another classroom. And it was empty. I was like, okay, we'll just work in here. On this particular day that the story takes place, it was in September. It was a nice sunny day. And it was just after lunch, so the bell goes and the kids are, coming into the classroom. And all of a sudden, the bell for lockdown turns on, and the principal come on the PA, and she's like, commence lockdown.
And when a lockdown happens, normally, like, what are the reasons for a lockdown happening?
Usually it's some kind of dangerous situation.
Gotcha,
like
dangerous
with
situation.
A weapon.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're in a classroom with your students, and you guys go into lockdown. So what happens?
Wait. How many students approximately are with you?
30 students.
Okay, cool. Okay,
So then what happens?
So you guys go into lockdown.
Yes. So, just before we go, we have to open the door to our classroom and see if there's any kids in the hallway and drag them in, because we don't want to leave anybody out.
Yeah.
So I see my colleague and I'm like, is this planned? Like, are we practicing? And she's like, I don't know. So I'm like, okay, whatever. We just close the door, turn off the lights. The kids are huddling under the desk. And it just, half an hour goes by and some of the kids are like, Miss, on Twitter, they're saying there's a man with, like, an armed man in the school.
Oh, my gosh.
We're freaking out. So what I do is I kind of very carefully crawl over to the class door, and it has, like, a little glass window, and I peek out the door, and I see it looked like the SWAT team was in the hallway.
Oh,
okay?
wow.
Like, there was, like, tactical unit. They're dressed with their gray kind of jumpsuits. They have like dogs and weapons.
Oh my God, that's so scary.
And I'm like, oh my God, right? And I can hear them going into the class, like they're going into each classroom one by one, but they don't come into mine. I'm like, okay, that's weird. We wait another half hour, nothing. And, everyone's flipping out. Then have this one student come up to me, he's like, Miss, what if you were with someone and something happened, but you didn't do it? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he just wouldn't get the point.
So you're in lockdown. The SWAT team's in the hallway. They're not coming into your class. And then you have a student walk up and go, ma'am, what if somebody did something, but they didn't mean to do it, and I was with them, but I didn't do it? Okay, so you're talking to this kid, and obviously he's not telling you the truth about something.
Yeah, and he's just being so evasive. Like, I'm trying to find out. He's just not explaining. And he's like, but you were with someone, and it wasn't you. And I'm like, what is happening here?
Okay,
right?
yeah.
And all of a sudden on the PA, the principal starts calling teacher names. And she's like, would Miss Miller, Mr. So-and-so, and Miss So-and-so please call the main office? And this is not standard protocol for lockdown.
Okay.
You don't make announcements. So this is very unusual. And one of those names is mine.
Oh, no.
So I pick up the phone and I call the main office. The principal answers instantly. And she's like, oh, my God, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, what's going on? She's like, where are you? We've been looking for you for an hour and a half. So I tell her, oh, I'm in this classroom today. And she's like, hey, stay where you are. We're sending the team of police down to see you. I'm like, okay. So now I'm really freaking out because I really have no idea what's going on. So the police officers, they have a key. They come in. I courteously stand up and I'm like, I turn the overhead lights on, and they turn them off. And I'm like, okay. So they wanted the room dark, and they have these big, long flashlights, and they're like, where's so-and-so? And I point to the one kid that had asked me that weird rambling question.
So they came in looking for the kid that was like, what if I was with somebody, but I didn't know? Okay, so they're looking specifically for that kid.
Correct.
Okay.
And then they're like, and where's this other kid who's also in my class? I'm like, oh, he's right there. And so they take them out of the classroom and they leave the school. Oh. And then lockdown is done, right? I find out later that these two kids, they had come back from lunch. They were driving through the parking lot, and one of them, I'm not sure which one it was, if it was the kid driving or not. They pull out a tripod,
like a camera, like a camera tripod.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They extend one of the legs over his arm and out the car window.
Oh my gosh!
As they're driving by the bleachers. And decide that they're going to yell out the window, everybody get down.
Oh, my God.
And then they think it's a great joke. They go around the corner, they park the car, and they come to my class.
Oh, my
God.
God.
Of course, the kids on the bleachers are losing their mind. So they go to the main office and say there's somebody with a weapon.
Oh, my God.
And that's how the whole lockdown starts.
So what happened to those kids then? Like, they get in trouble? You get suspended for that? You get charged? Like,
no, so you don't get charged because it's not an actual weapon.
Yeah.
So what happens is these kids get pulled out of our school and they get sent to like a special program. And so the kid that did the tripod thing, he got like a month. He didn't come back to class for a month. And then the other kid, for just being in the car, got 2 weeks.
Oh, my God.
And you know what the thing is? Like, genuinely, those kids were good kids. They were not thinking when they did that, right?
Clearly.
Yeah. Good job.
Sombra, what a hell of a story. Damn. Thank you so much for sharing.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Stephanie, are you there?
Hi, how's it going?
Good.
Stephanie Motto, right?
Yes.
Why do I know that name? Have we had you on the show before?
We have.
Yeah, I've done some crazy things in the past. I used to sell fart jars.
Yeah, remember this? Stephanie's a girl.
God. Hold on, 90 Day Fiancé.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Stephanie, welcome back to the Roz and Mocha Show. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great.
Good. Before we get into your hell of a story, how did the fart game work out for you?
Not so good.
No?
I ended up in the hospital.
Yeah, that's I know.
Damn, girl.
I know.
I'm in retirement.
Okay. Yeah, but Stephanie Motto, 90 Day Fiancé, we have talked to you before. You were making some decent money selling farts in a jar. But Stephanie, welcome back to the Roz and Mocha Show. When and where does your hell of a story take place?
So this happened about 6 months ago at home.
It was 11 o'clock at night.
Remind us again, Stephanie, where home is?
Yeah, I live in Connecticut, like
Okay.
in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the woods. It's a little creepy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I live there by myself, and that's an important part of the story because this explains why I was so freaked out. I was going to bed, and I see a car pull up to my driveway, and I'm like, who the hell is this? I notice that this person gets out of the car and they're walking around my property, and I panic and I lock myself in my closet with my dogs and I call the police.
Right.
Because, like, I've had stalkers in the past. I've had crazy people come to my house, like, wanting to meet me. So I was just thinking it was like one of these situations, and I was freaking the hell out.
Is your house
The
hard?
cops-
It sounds like your house is hard to find, right? Like, how do people just find where you live?
Yeah, like, let me tell you, like, even Uber Eats and DoorDash can't find my house.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is really
Yeah.
freaky then. So you seeing somebody in your driveway is very much not normal.
And it's a very long private driveway.
Okay.
So unless someone really needs to be there, that'd be the only reason that they would be there.
Okay, so you're in the
I'm-
closet with
I'm
the
freaked
dogs
out.
and you call the cops.
Yes.
Okay.
And so the cops show up, and as they're showing up, the guy actually gets back in the car and is like going to leave. But the cops stop him and they question him, and then they come back to me. They knock on my door. They have his driver's license. And they tell me that he's there because he thinks that we have a date tonight and that we're both going to go to a hotel for some sexy time.
Oh, my God.
Wait,
Why?
how would he get that in his mind, though?
So this is where it all gets confusing. The cop is looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, are you sure you didn't make plans with him? Like, you know, are you lying to us? Like, is this guy your boyfriend? Did you guys have a fight? And I'm like crying. I'm like, I don't know this guy. It's like a 50-year-old guy. Then they tell me that he flew from Oregon to Connecticut.
Oh, my God.
Took a 2-hour Uber from JFK Airport to my house.
Oh, my God. How did this guy think that you guys had a date that night? That he would fly across the country?
He claimed that he had been talking to me on Facebook, and he also told the cops that he had been sending me like thousands of dollars in gift cards.
Oh, my God.
Oh, and it wasn't me. So I wish it was me. But turns out he was talking to somebody that's been using my photos on Facebook.
Oh,
and as soon as I heard this, I'm like, okay, this is a romance scam. This is somebody who's literally stolen all of my photos from social media and is posing as me on Facebook. So I look up my name on Facebook and I find like hundreds of profiles, and I find this particular one that the guy was talking to because I knew his name at that point and I saw him commenting on a lot of the photos. So I'm like, this is the account. And I go into the account and like all the things that the account is liking, and it's like Nigerian churches, Nigerian rappers. I'm like, oh, this makes so much sense now.
Yeah. So he wasn't pretending to just be somebody else using your pictures. He was pretending to be you, Stephanie Motto.
Yeah. And he like somehow got my address and decided to give it to this guy that he was scamming. As creepy and terrifying as it is, like, I'm a little flattered. Like, wow. I'm like, I guess I'm so cool that this old guy probably like really wanting to get
Okay.
I mean,
Stephanie,
the lengths that he went to.
Stephanie, enough with the 50-year-old old guy thing, okay?
Roz just turned 50 a couple months ago.
All right.
I'm sorry, you're not old.
No, but that guy is. That guy is.
So
are
did
you
you-
even on
Yeah,
Facebook
he's a
though, Stephanie?
boomer.
Are you on Facebook?
I'm not even on Facebook.
No.
Oh, okay.
Did you get a chance to talk to the guy at all?
No, but he like stayed with the police and he filed a whole report and they started a whole investigation. Unfortunately, the Facebook profile is still up.
Oh,
so
shoot.
if anyone out there is talking to me on Facebook, no, you're not.
Okay. Wow. So, like, what do they do? Like, can you call Facebook? Like, do you have a contact there where they can start pulling this stuff down, or no? It's just too hard.
It's way too hard, and Facebook doesn't care because
Yeah.
I've reported it. I've had friends report it, and literally, I don't know, Mark Zuckerberg, if you're listening, like, what the hell is going on Facebook?
Have you thought of maybe like sending Zuckerberg like for free a fart in a jar? Come out of retirement this one more time?
Maybe then he would reconsider and take down my catfish account.
That's crazy. I mean, I sort of feel for the guy a little bit, you know, like, but also like, these stories, like they happen all the time where people just get finessed out of thousands of dollars by somebody claiming to be you or Bruce Springsteen or whoever it is online.
Damn,
it's just,
man.
it's so easy, but I can't believe that this guy flew. Did he bring you gifts and stuff like that too?
I think he just like brought sex toys probably.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah, cool. Because I bet you told him that's what you loved on Facebook.
Oh, God.
along with Nigerian hip hop.
Right.
He's like, no, I put together this sick playlist for us.
So bad. So bad.
So what did we learn from all this, Stephanie?
Well, I think the elderly need to be more careful on the internet.
Okay.
So they can get scammed.
Stephanie, again, elderly.
Yeah, we just Roz just finished telling you he's 50 as well.
You're such a troll.
I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah,
You're young. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Just be
okay,
safe.
cool.
Be
Okay.
safe on Facebook.
Yes.
All right, Steph. Thank you so much for joining us on Roz Mocha's Helluva Story.
Wow.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Seeker app.